I probably should have come in earlier, but I am just loving that mashup that I found. I'm Aaron, and this is the Pupcast, the podcast for screen, by the community, for the community. You know the deal. This is episode 16. You should know what we are by now. And this week, in honor of Wreck-It Ralph coming out in theaters, we are going to be talking about our favorite video game movies. Now, we were also going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph and do a little bit of a spoiler sport, talk about, which is where, for anybody new, that's where we talk in depth about the movie without fear of spoiling. But then I found out that the only people who had seen the movie on the podcast with me this week were my co-host Michelle and myself. And that would have been real boring, just the two of us. Plus, the two of us did a review for it, and the review will be going up with this episode as well. So make sure to look out for that. And since this is our video game episode, well, not our video game episode, this is still a movie podcast, our video game movie episode, I went to try and look and find some of the best video game related music I could find, and you know what I discovered? There's a lot of really good video game music out there. Listen, just talking about like the shitty ass movies that have come out based around video games really ignited my love of video games. It made me want to go and play a lot of the games that these shitty ass movies were based upon. And when I was looking for the music, I realized how much I just absolutely love video game music. So I'd like to apologize to all the franchises out there that I could not fit in. I wanted to get in there so much more. I wanted to get in there some Street Fighter music, some Final Fantasy music, some Phoenix Wright music. Couldn't get any of them in because there's just that many good ones out there. And of course, having said that now, I know a lot of people are going to come in and go, man, you picked some really shitty music to put in there. I know, but I enjoyed what I selected. You know what? Interesting challenge. Anybody listening to this? Put in the comments below what your favorite video game music is. And speaking of music, I want to go ahead and normally, when I select something, I don't say where I get it from because I figure you guys probably know. You know I don't own any of the music I put up here. I'm just, I tend to pick stuff that's fairly obvious where it came from. But I want to give a major shout out to the guy who did the music that you heard there at the beginning, and I have even still playing in the background right now. His name is Freddy Greddy, and on YouTube, his name is Freddy25. He did a massive rock remix of 34 different video game songs, and it came out sounding great. I recommend everybody go and check that out. Back to the podcast at hand. As I've mentioned numerous times, I am looking to build a site where we can host the Pupcast, so that way it can get up on iTunes, but also so we can start doing other types of podcasts, because we've all been having a lot of fun doing this, and we'd like to expand and try some other things. And speaking of video games, Michelle and I are currently attempting to do a little video game playthrough thing on YouTube, and I will inform you guys more of that as it comes along. And also, speaking of the website in general, I've mentioned before looking into hosting sites, looking into domain names. I address, later in the episode, I address the current status of it. I'm not going to repeat myself now, it comes up later. But, it's very encouraging news. And there is, I'm sounding very positive right now, but before we go any further, there is one thing that I need to point out. On last week's episode, we were trying a new software that was supposed to record the Skype conversations, making it easier and quicker for us to get these episodes out, and unfortunately, it didn't come out sounding all that good. We decided to try it one more time on this episode, and this time we were going to try it having the guy hosting the conference call on Skype be the one to also record the whole session, and hoping that would fix things. It actually sounds a little bit worse this episode. I really hate saying that. It sounds a tad bit worse. The parts that you can make out are still very enjoyable, and the reason why I'm still putting this up is because, damn, this is a hilarious episode. I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys can still understand every bit of it. I could understand every bit of it, but then again, I was there for it. So If you can't understand it, I apologize. And just to warn you guys, again, next week they're going to use that technology again, simply because I won't be here for next week's episode. Next week's episode is the Bond episode, and I know jack all about James Bond. I'm sorry, for some reason it's just one of those film franchises that I just never got into. But that's going to be a really interesting episode. I hope everybody listens to it. But it is once again going to use that Skype recording technology. Hopefully it works then. It seems to work on the episodes that I'm not on. Don't know what that says about me, but apparently it works on the episodes that I'm not on. But after next week's episode, we're going back to the normal way that we've been recording, where everybody records with Audacity on their own line, then we combine them all into one, and I edit them together and put them out. It takes a little bit longer on my side, but it comes out sounding so much better, it's absolutely worth it. So just bear with me on this one. Trust me, this is a very good episode. Just doesn't sound all that great, but you know what? Still totally worth a listen. And, I mean, hell, it's worth a listen just for the mere fact that we did it, guys. We fix video game movies in this episode. We figure out how to do them right. So stay tuned for that. And random video game pun here. I got nothing. Alright, well, stay tuned. Bum, 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 bum. Good times, anytime you need a favor. Good times, ain't we lucky we got 'em. Hey, everybody, how about that election? I'm Aaron. I'm joined by Jackson, Callum, Kevin, Mike, Michelle, and
America.
Fuck yeah! Coming around to save the motherfucking day, America.
No, it's gotta
For,
be
keeping Obama in office, you are allowed to play America Fuck Yeah, unironically, for the next couple of months. I will allow it.
Oh, fuck yes, I'm going to play America Fuck Yeah. Holy shit. Oh, I cannot be the only one ecstatic at this moment.
It was a clear
awesome.
victory as well, wasn't it?
Was it? Callum?
Yeah, well, it was a clear victory too, wasn't it, if I remember reading?
Oh, yeah. It was clear to everyone not on Fox News. And it was clear to half of them on there as well.
Have you seen the Fox News picture at the moment?
Oh yeah, I've seen it. It's all over the company.
Oh, yeah.
It's so glorious. It's just
They're all just
effortless.
like.
Oh, God. I'm
game out now.
The came in. First off, I love living in New York because it's the only city that, like, we could just sense it in our liberal senses at the moment that Obama had won. Because before I saw on any news network, I just started hearing, woo! Outside my window, and then like 10 seconds after that, the TV started calling it for Obama. But oh man, as soon as it was called, I turned over to Fox News, and that was almost as great as Obama winning in the first place. Just the reactions over there, because they had Karl Rove on there, who just had the greatest breakdown I have ever seen of him basically just going, well, you know, these counties aren't counted yet, and they're very conservative. And Megyn Kelly, who Fox is famous for having just dumb blondes who know nothing on their show to look pretty. Megyn Kelly is like the source of all that. She's like the original. She's like the alpha dumb blonde who spread off into the rest of them.
OG.
Yeah, she was there, and she has never ever talked out against any of the other people on Fox News. Karl Rove is losing his mind there, and she just goes, well, yes, but there's also these counties here with triple the population, and they're very liberal there. And then Karl Rove just goes, well, I went through something like this in 2000 where it was close. And then he went, yeah, but they put in place procedures this time to make sure what happened in 2000 didn't happen this time. And Karl Rove had just kept losing his mind. And in all fairness, if I had borrowed $300 million from a casino baron who more than likely has buried a couple of people in the desert at some point in time in order to win this election, and I didn't, I'd be losing my shit too.
And that woman was promptly fired from Fox News for daring to speak out against a man.
Oh no, Karl Rove is about to be fired from life. If you have watched Old Days, like I said, that dude borrowed $300 million from a casino baron, someone who is more corrupt than Donald Trump. Donald Trump tried to be a casino baron, wasn't corrupt enough. He borrowed $300 million from
So it was essentially a bit of a bottom of a river somewhere, like a cement block tied to his feet.
No. Donald Trump is the bottom of the barrel. Casino barons are when you lift up the barrel and you discover all that shit underneath. He borrowed $300 million from them, and now they want the money back. And I just keep picturing Karl Rove is going to appear on Fox News and go, you don't understand. Romney has to have won. They're going to take my thumbs. Oh, my God. It is...
I think we're forgetting really the biggest loser in this all. If y'all will look at the link I just posted.
Oh, what'd you say? This is great. Millions of dollars. Oh, God. That is so... Oh, like I said on last week's episode, I don't hate rich people, but the fact that a bunch of arrogant asshole rich people who wanted to crush the poor lost billions of dollars on this, and the people at Fox wasted the last 4 years of their lives on this election, it just gets better.
Yeah, but better yet, that was Vince McMahon, who basically paid $150 million across 2 elections to try to get his wife elected to Senate and lost horribly each time. It was so funny.
The program to ensure that there was nothing there was nothing to stop Linda from getting there. Like blood, but your husband runs a show of blood and violence and sex as well. Not anymore. He doesn't. And it's all been for nothing.
And when you think about like the stuff like the voter suppression that was put in place, because for years leading up to this, we had Republican senators and congressmen basically putting in place procedures that would try and prevent poor people from voting, and guess who poor people tend to vote for? They put up like laws that said, okay, well, you have to have a driver's license in order to vote, and poor people don't really have driver's license because they can't afford cars. So, and there was even video footage of senators saying, we're doing this so Romney will get elected, like actual video footage of it. And they even in states where they couldn't get those laws passed, they still hired people to go to the polls, stand around in suits, and stop black voters from coming up. Like, they have video footage.
That's racist!
Oh, yeah. In Florida, there is video footage of people in suits who do not work for the polls, did not work for the polling places, going up to black voters who were approaching the polling place and saying, I'm sorry, can I see your ID? Like, they were bouncers outside of a club. Like, oh, you ain't getting in here to vote for the president with them threats on, man. No, that ain't happening.
Money.
And yeah, so they just pulled all kinds of shit to get Obama not elected. And the fact that Obama just haymakered their ass, getting over 300 electoral votes. Oh, my God.
That backfired him.
Oh,
has anybody already started blaming the hurricane for this?
Oh, they started blaming the hurricane. They started blaming... Oh, Karl Rove actually said Obama was the one doing voter suppression. That is balls, my friend. For you to pull some illegal voter fraud shit and then say the other guy did it, that is balls, my friend.
To be honest, it would actually be bigger balls on Obama if he was turning away black people, being like, "No, we got enough. We're good."
Go on, put your feet up. Well, white people have got this.
Oh, God. And did you guys even see in Ohio, the state that everybody said it was all depending on, there was the video footage of the guy, he pulled out his cell phone camera because he had to photograph it because it was so fucked up. He was at an electronic voting machine, pressed Obama, and it just came up, Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Came up, Mitt Romney.
Is that a joke on The Simpsons?
Yeah.
It wasn't about The Simpsons. I think that's where they got the idea for it. So that's Because, like, Mitt
Simpsons
Romney...
did it.
Yeah, Mitt Romney did not even... There were all those people going out saying Romney's going to win this with over 300 electoral votes. Mitt Romney did not even write a concession speech. That is how sure they had rigged the system on this one. That is how positive... This is the moment where the Grinch leaned over and, like, heard all the Whovians still singing. That is what happened here tonight. I kept picturing Mitt Romney in his headquarters on that night, just acting like every 80s cartoon supervillain whose evil plans were being foiled by friendship and love. Like...
Care Bear stare!
Oh, shit. I am sorry to any of our conservative listeners, but seriously, fuck those guys for trying this shit. Oh, if you ran a good campaign and lost, I'd be like, you know what, I disagree with you, but that was fine. These motherfuckers rigged the election every step of the way, and a bunch of minorities and hipster white kids came out and saved the day.
I don't even think
That's
that
the thing about the conservatives. They don't know shit about technology.
Exactly. They honestly thought, okay, we will put in place all these voter suppression acts and no one will be able to stop us. But instead, someone went, hey, I just found there was a black guy there was a guy stopping black people from going and voting at my poll. Puts it up on Tumblr. 5 minutes later, there's a line around the corner of people looking to vote for Obama at that poll.
I can't deal with a world in which Tumblr is used for political means.
This sounds like Wacky Races. Wacky Races, but very big dastardly, and they still lost.
I love that show.
I love that show. Now I'm just picturing Paul Ryan standing next to Mitt Romney. I can't do the Muttley laugh. I can't do the Muttley laugh, but you get the joke. How's everybody else doing?
Well, you put me in
It's
a good
rained
mood now.
here. I hate the rain.
Oh.
Better than snow.
I know, but like the rain is so unconducive to my cargo shorts and flip-flops dress. Like,
It's
the reason why I want to work on the internet is so I can wear flip-flops and cargo shorts to work every day.
I don't know why, but the use of the word unconducive just made that sentence perfect. It's rain, man. It's just not conducive to my lifestyle. Do you know what this rain is really messing up? My shoes.
What shoes? They're slippers.
Other than that, no, I'm good.
Alright, that's good. Jackson, Kevin, Callan, how you guys doing?
I'm good. I've been playing video games, but then my love film, which is the equivalent of GameFly over here, it got all passive aggressive on me. And when I asked for good games, it sent me Fable 3 and Ninja Gaiden 3. So,
were they like even on your list of games to get?
They were my low priority.
Oh.
Because I was like, Ninja Gaiden Black is the best game I've made, and I want to see how they fucked that up. And he was like, here you go, thanks.
So now.
No, I'm good.
Just rip that Band-Aid right off.
Yeah.
Well, let me see. Have you guys seen any movies lately?
Yes.
What do you want to talk about?
I went last Sunday and I finally saw Hotel Transylvania.
Yay.
How was it? How'd you like it?
Good, not great.
Yeah.
I like to, I do think some of it might have been because I was expecting to go watch a Genndy Tartakovsky movie, and in the end I just sort of saw a good kids movie. But it is good. It is fun. It is at its absolute best when it's a 100 when it's like a 500 mile an hour gag a minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Film.
It's it's at its best when it is a Genndy Tartakovsky project, because you can tell in the hands of anyone else that movie would have been a flop.
Yeah, like that the entire first segment in the lobby when everybody's coming in, like that managed to make a fart joke genuinely funny and different, like that's something. But yeah, again, it's too many of the jokes are too easy. Too many of the jokes are way too easy.
Oh, it's very easy. Yeah, it is very much just for a kids' film. It is.
And also and they go to the well on a couple of them too many times, like especially the Dracula sudden angry face, which is kind of funny in like a jumpy way first time, but then like the more they go back to it, it just stops being funny. And also I know that it's a kids film, but I think that the ending is pretty much everything in the last 10 to 15 minutes is really, well, it's like I don't think they commit. It's like, I know that it's a kids movie, so humans can't turn out to be complete monsters, but like happening to turn up on a day when they're celebrating monsters and just happen to like all of them anyway. That was a bit much. And then also the fact that Dracula was apparently able to survive like 3 hours outside in the sun, not burning to a crisp.
And then,
sorry, go on.
Mike, what was that?
How was Adam Sandler's voice? Because I saw the trailer and I
Meh.
thought he was just doing Opera Man the entire time.
He's meh. I had a thought on my way home. This movie could be significantly improved if instead of Adam Sandler doing the voice of doing his meh impression of Dracula, they just got the voice of Dexter from Dexter's Lab and just did it like that the entire way through. And the more I thought about that, the more I was convinced that was the best idea ever. Yeah, and also the random song stroke that synchronized dance routine, because we couldn't think of a proper way to end our movie, was pretty much just that. It was like a really bad Lonely Island number.
It's
extremely bad.
It's bad, but it's one of those things in which I was like, by that point it had earned with me so much that this is just for kids. I was like, you know what, I'm betting kids are gonna enjoy this.
However, the actual end credits, like done in the style of
the end credits are pretty damn good.
Yeah. But again, I did laugh a lot, and I absolutely loved the animation. It's one of the few films I've watched in 2D that I think I probably should have seen in 3D. But it's one of the few films.
Us. It's like...
Yeah, exactly.
It's like one of the few 3D films that was able to correctly translate how 2D animation works. You have the whole manic squash and stretch back graphic. So I loved watching it, like that sort of technical piece. And again, whilst the ending was like really cop-outy in that, it did have a couple of good funny moments, like when the Wolfman just runs out, eats all the sheep, and then they spend like a minute just sat there chewing him out for it, which for some reason just got me laughs.
Oh, everything with the Wolfman is great in that movie.
Yeah.
He's the best thing about that film.
Steve Buscemi kills that. Yeah, it's good. I do think it could have been better, and I would like my Samurai Jack movie now, please. Although
it's made a boatload of cash. You know they're gonna give it to him.
Yeah. Well, no. First off, he's got to do a CG version of Popeye.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Genndy Tartakovsky is apparently being given control of a CG Popeye movie.
Hey, I will trust him.
Well,
at
it
this
can't
point.
be any worse than the live-action one with Robert
Williams.
So.
Yeah. I thought Hotel Transylvania was good, not great, and I'm struggling to remember quite a lot of it after I see it. But overall, I am glad I spent money on it and saw it. So 3 stars. Mm-hmm. And then also today, I it's not a movie, but I thought I'd just know anyway. I watched The Grim Adventures of the KND, that Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy Kids Next Door.
Billy and Mandy Kids Next Door.
When I was like 11 when it first premiered, I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And now 7 years on, I can't really change that opinion. That is just 23 minutes of like pure straight coming to my heart there, like just in jokes and great jokes. I mean. And like the end credits as well, when they have those sides of crossover shows, I would pay genuine money to see Samurai Mac being made, like Mac from Foster's Home for Magic.
Oh right, yeah, I remember that.
I love that. I just thought I'd share that because that pretty much just made my entire week, considering the fact that like anything to do with college has been going down the shitter, but like that one thing made my entire week.
All right, how about the rest of you guys?
I saw. Oh, no, Mike can go first. Go, Mike.
Okay. I figure we're going to talk about Wreck-It Ralph later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then I watched the original Shall We Dance from 1994 in Japan this week, and it is just a delightful little salaryman comedy. The dude who plays Mr. Aoki is just killing it in the background with exaggerated gestures.
Check out Mike bringing some culture to this show. All right. Nice. It's been forever since we've had anyone on the show say they watched something before the 1970s. Wow.
After the first Star Wars movie onward, I'm good. Anything before then, not so much because it looks bad. But here I am staring at a Criterion collection of Seven Samurai.
Nice. I love me some Seven Samurais. All right. Jackson, what about you?
I saw 21 Jump Street.
Oh, we did too!
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 21 Jump Street. That film's okay. Parts of it are really good, and then parts of it are just like, you could have had something like really good here. They touch on, because the premise is bonkers, it's mental, it's ridiculous, but they touch on some deep stuff in some pretty talented and great ways, and then just go the easy way out.
They go pretty much the easy way, but I will still say it's probably is my favorite just regular comedy so far this year. Like, if you just took comedy and didn't put any kind of like add-ons to it, because like, you know, Wreck-It Ralph was a better comedy than that, but it had other elements to it add in. 21 Jump Street is just pure comedy.
Yeah.
So as far as just pure comedies go, it's probably my favorite this year, but that's just because I haven't really seen anything better. But I still liked it way more than I thought it was
Same.
going to.
Has anyone ever seen the original 21 Jump Street series with Johnny Depp or?
No,
I don't think anyone has. So
I did, however.
I'm the oldest one here, and that show was canceled before I was still alive. So
No, I've never seen it, but I did do some research before seeing it, which then, of course, made the cameos at that point in the movie absolutely friggin' hysterical. And then what they did with them even later, even more hysterical.
Yeah. And I love everything they ever did with the drug stuff in that episode, the weird graphics coming out.
Fuck you, motherfucker!
I thought the ending was when it got all crazy. It's just yeah.
The ending was way too easy.
It was too easy. It was
But it had the sight of a man eating his own penis.
Oh, that was so dumb.
That was dumb. I am not.
It was dumb, but it got a laugh from me.
No,
I'm not big on gross out humor. I'm not. I'll admit.
Gross out humor can work in the right context, but this film has proved time and time again throughout the entire film that it is smarter than that. It is smarter than climaxing with a man eating his own dick.
His own penis. Yes.
I can't help it. I'm easily pleased.
No, I can see why in a world with a certain film you may find some man putting his own penis that has been shot off in his mouth slightly hilarious. Not for me, but just this film is better than that.
I would like to. I think my main problem with it is the fact that they released a 4-minute trailer beforehand, which showcased pretty much everything about it, which kind of meant that going into the movie, it was one of those things where trailers definitely spoiled a lot of it. It didn't spoil all of it. It didn't spoil and there was still a ton of fantastic jokes that weren't in the trailers, but that 4-minute trailer, it definitely just sort of ruined a lot of the movie for me.
There was actually one joke that made me really angry that it was so bad. In the joke in the beginning where they go on and say how we're bringing back this old police routine. It's because all the higher ups have no creativity, so they're just bringing back things from the 80s to try again. And I was like, you don't get to make a joke about how terrible remakes are in the middle of your fucking remake. You did not earn that.
I think you're going a bit overboard on that, Jack.
Although I did love the joke that came right after he said, in which he said, "You're reporting down on Jump Street, 37 Jump Street." Wait, no, that's not right.
That was a good joke. See, again, It was bad joke followed by.
I meant everything to do with the captain as well. Just some stupid stereotype.
Oh no, they went overboard in that. They had the Korean Jesus line, and then they went 2 lines further. No, Korean Jesus as a line on its own, hilarious. You don't need to over.
Really? I left my ass off at that follow-up line of "Don't be messing with Korean Jesus. He's busy with Korean stuff."
There was another line after that line.
Oh.
How was because they didn't cut scene then they had to segue into the whole exposition of parents thing. Where no, that you cut scene there. That is an ending line.
I thought that was the ending. I didn't.
No, they had a more discussion, and then they were it was 2 more lines to establish that they were going with the parents when they could have just ended with that hilarious joke and cut to the.
Yeah, I don't even remember the moment after
exactly because
in my mind it does cut there.
Because it's don't fuck with Korean Jesus. He busy doing Korean shit.
Yeah, from what I can remember of the movie, which is not particularly much because it was all the way back in March, but they definitely had problems where they didn't seem to know when to end the scene. Sometimes they just drag it out 5 or 6 lines, or maybe even 5 or 10 seconds longer than it needed to, which kind of killed a lot of the impact of the joke.
Yeah. Although I can tell when I watch this, I can tell that this is from the same guys who did Scott Pilgrim and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. It has very much the flavors of both those to me.
The guy who the guy who wrote 21 Jump Street, who co-wrote 21 Jump Street and co-wrote Scott Pilgrim, also wrote Project X. How is that possible?
That's kind of
dude.
shocking.
Sometimes you just need an excuse to throw a big ass party, and having the found footage film can set that up. I still need to see that. We're currently going through, like I said, we're doing the best of and worst of at the end of the year, or actually very beginning of next year. So it's cram time over here at our apartment, and we are trying to see every movie that came out that we can find. So I do need to actually see Project X. But we saw this week. We saw. Safety Not Guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It's this little indie film that was about. It stars Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec and Scott Pilgrim, And it's about her trying to be a journalist. She's an intern, and there's this Craigslist ad out there of somebody asking somebody to go on a time travel adventure with them. And so they go to investigate this guy. He looks crazy, but maybe he's not, and they start to form a romance. And
if you tell me this is good, I'm going to be angry because it doesn't come out here till Boxing Day.
it is good, but I didn't like. I know so many people who are like, "This is one of my favorite of the year." It's like, it's good. It's not gonna make my top 10
Yeah.
unless. I mean, then again, I haven't started working on my top 10 list, so I might get up to number 9 and go, "Oh fuck, there were no more good movies this year." But yeah, so I can't imagine it making my top 10. It is good. I have a few problems with it, but I mean, I won't go into much more detail. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look.
When we do our top 10, can we do it in the style like Giant Bomb, where we essentially just all take our top 10 lists and then argue over what's going to be on the collective one? Just so then at the end we can spend 3 hours in like an endless...
Well, here's the problem with doing the list quite like that, is that because you guys are in Britain, you guys are going to have a very different list than us. So we can't, I can't argue with you, this movie should be on there when it hasn't even come out where you guys live.
Yeah.
And also, we're not professional critics. We don't get to go and see every single thing that comes out. So even if we did live in the same place, there's no guarantee that we would each see the same thing. But I do believe that we can come to a compromise. I believe we should do 2 episodes where one is each of our top 10 lists
There should
and
be
our
a
bottom
balance,
10.
yeah.
And then
So there's
there
like an
is-
American version and a British version.
Well, kind of. It's that every single one of us would give our top 10 movies that came out where we live in that year. And then on the next episode, we'd each give our bottom 10 movies that came out where we live in that year. And then on the episode after that, we can do some kind of a merger thing. Some kind of a, maybe not our what's our best movie of the year, but like come up with different categories. And each of us try and argue over what should be the winner for that.
Yeah. Well, I know. I was about to say we should all argue about what was the best superhero film. Then I realised that we'd all agree.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, I forgot the Dark Knight. Well, actually, the best superhero film of the year was Chronicle, but I'm not going to fight that fight. Anyway,
Kevin,
Go
what have
ahead,
you
Art.
seen?
Kevin, what have they been showing in Canada?
I went to go see Cloud Atlas.
What's that?
And
It's a movie.
Or is it a
Movie.
film?
yeah,
I would say it's a film.
Can it be a film if it was filmed digitally?
It wasn't. It was filmed on film.
Oh, well, damn. There goes. I'll just mute my mic now.
But I remember reading your tweet in which you said I saw it 3 days ago, and I still have no idea how I feel about it. It's been a couple days since then. How are you feeling now?
I think it's one of the best movies of the year.
Really?
Yes. I know I said before The Grey was probably my favorite film of the year, but I think it might be Cloud Atlas now. It does some really, really impressive and incredible things in there. It is like trying to push boundaries for like storytelling. Like for those who don't know, it's 6 separate stories set over the course of like 1,000 years. Like one takes place on a ship in the going across the Pacific in the 19th century. There's one that takes place in the 1930s. It's sort of like a crime thriller or a mystery. There's one in 2012, and then there's one in the far future set in Seoul, Korea, and one that's taking place in like past civilization on Earth, where all the people have left Earth and there's still just like smaller tribes left over.
I would just like to say that sounds terrible. So if it really is that good, that is a bad place to start. They have a hole to work themselves out of.
And that's where, like, typically, because it is Lana and Annie Wachowski and Tom Tykwer. So of course Wachowski's in The Matrix, and Tom Tykwer did. He's most notably known for Run Lola Run, which is another film that sort of had. It was the same premise of the character trying to rob or try to get money to save her boyfriend, and it was told over and over and over again for like it was basically an entire what if movie. What if this happened? What if this happened? What if this happened? So basically, you have the right people making this movie and writing this movie, and how they interweave every single of those 6 stories is kind of magical, and it's so effortless. Like you can, if you like really look into it, you can kind of see where the seams are trying, like where they put it together. But if you just like view it as one whole movie, it's sort of, you don't see it happening whatsoever. And it's because how every single scene, because in the book, it was written for this part takes place, like one chapter would be one story, then the next one, and then the next one, and then the world after the civilization is left is one full part. And then the movie tails back and goes to the same story again and again and again. So basically, it's all told consecutively. The movie does not do that consecutively. It interweaves every single story. So one story will have a 10-minute segment here, and then another one there, and another one there, and it keeps going on and on and on. However, it flows, like the story, it works because whatever happens in that instance for one story sort of ripples in to the next one. And I don't know how, like, I'm not really describing it in a worthy way, the way it shows how it's done, but it's, like, you start to see how the characters are, like, how they describe it as, like, this singular soul of one character, and how you realize that it's the same soul trapped into this other character. So you don't see it as, like, 6 stories. You see it as just one giant story throughout 1,000 years, and it's different characters, but it's still the same person. And I don't know. It's just, it's confounding. This is a 3-hour movie that goes by like an instant.
Yeah, all the reviews that I've read and heard of it have basically said it feels like 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like you're sitting there for 3 hours. It feels like because you're always interested in it.
Yeah, and it does, like, it really forces you to pay attention. Like, it's not a movie you just can't turn on and say, oh, I just want to shut my brain off and watch a movie. You can't do that with Cloud Atlas. And I think the best thing about, like, all these stories is that you would think there would be a weak link for 6 stories. And there's not. They're all really strong. They all have, like, sympathetic characters and people you can relate to, and it's all really interesting. And how they're able to get all these, like, strong stories of good characters, it's also really interesting. And how it's sort of paced, because it is a 3-hour movie. It's sort of, I don't know how they did it, but it's sort of like an analytical perspective of how they wrote it, is that when you have, like, an urge, it happens. Like, if you want a moment that's funny, it happens in the next scene. If you want a moment that's really exciting, it happens in the next scene. So basically, like, because it is, you can see that it's one soul, all these characters. Like, it's one soul that'll be, like, 6 different people. Every single time there's, like, an emotional payoff, it works. Even if it's happening to different people in different storylines, you can see the connective tissue, and every single time that emotional payoff happens, it's really satisfying. Really satisfying. And the cast is incredible. Even if some of the parts are sort of goofy, like Tom Hanks has a couple of goofy little roles where he'll be playing this buck-toothed, ginger-bearded doctor in the 19th century, and then in 2012 he'll play basically a violent criminal who is also a biographical author. So
how's the makeup job in this? Because I know that they basically went all out in this. They have, like, non-Asian actors dress up Asian. They have Halle Berry playing a man at one point.
What?
Done. I think there's some parts where you can easily tell that it's makeup, but it's you sort of forget about it the longer it goes on. And I think the best segment, if I had to choose one, is probably the one set in Neil's soul, because it's the part where it has, like, all the action scenes, and then it's also really interesting on a philosophical and moral level. And the main actress is a Korean actress named Doona Bae. She was in that Host movie with the giant squid.
Oh yeah.
She's in that, and she is absolutely wonderful in the movie. And so I think that's my favorite part. If I had to choose a weaker segment, it is probably the one that takes place after civilization is left, just because every single segment sort of had a different dialect in the book. So in the future segment of the movie, they also have their own little dialect, or how they speak and how like they converse with one another. And it's just like one more thing that they're asking a little bit too much. Like you're already paying attention so much on what's happening, trying to catch up with all the characters and all that stuff. Just trying to understand what these people are saying is a little bit too much to ask.
I gotcha. Well, yeah, I really think this will probably get, even though it's only got like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment, it seems like one of those films that the critics who rate the Oscars would absolutely love. So I have a feeling this is going to probably get a couple of nominations. So I'm definitely going to see it for the best of, worst of, and even if I didn't, I would have to see. I'd probably have to see it when Oscar season comes around. So I'm definitely going to get around to it.
Or you're either in the camp where you love it or you absolutely hate it. And I can understand why people would hate it. It is asking a lot for you. It takes a leap of faith and a suspension of disbelief to accept that Tom Hanks is all 6 different people. It does take a lot, and I can understand like somebody hating the movie within the first 5 minutes of it. But I'm not one of those people. I love this film.
So what you're saying, Kevin, is that it's better than 4 Rooms?
Pardon?
So what you're saying is that it's better than 4 Rooms?
So.
I have no idea what 4 Rooms is.
It was that anthology movie which had a segment directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he cuts off his like thumb or something.
Yeah, I think Mike knows what I'm talking about.
Why are you comparing this movie to
No,
4 Rooms?
like anthology
connection?
movies. Like anthology movies.
Well, this isn't an anthology movie. Anthology movies are separate stories. This is one.
Like, the idea was that
story
the idea of 4 Rooms that it all took place in one hotel may sort of cross-reference to be. Never mind. I'm sorry. I was trying to be clever and I failed miserably.
It's okay. We'll just delete that out when we edit this.
The hell we will.
Editing.
Kevin, what's our news stories? Let's get out.
No, our entire podcast is trying to say something clever and failing. So,
with the Top Gear podcasts,
and how I was describing, like same soul but a different character. Think of it like Doctor Who. The Doctor is a different person with each actor, but it's still like mannerisms are different from like Matt Smith to David Tennant, but it's still the Doctor.
See, now you're speaking my language.
That you sort of have to put it in perspective when you're seeing all these characters.
Well, I can't wait till February then.
All right, Kevin, what's our news stories this week?
How does everybody like the internet?
I fucking love the internet.
The internet's a shithole, and I hate working on it.
I love the one half of the internet that's positive, and then there's all that 4chan stuff that scares me.
Just don't go there. It's fine. Ignore it.
I'm very nervous about why you started this news story off this way. What's the story?
Because the internet basically got Mark Wahlberg cast in Transformers 4.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Amazing.
Yeah.
I will only be on board with this if they actually literally credit him as Marky Mark.
Is Michael Bay still doing it?
Yes, because someone else could fuck it up. It was I saw an interview with him that he genuinely said he couldn't see it leaving his hands because someone else might not do the right thing with the franchise.
I can't see it leaving his hands either because he's got really big fucking guns, probably.
Besides, he can't make all that money.
That dude is not letting that cash cow go.
He'll have to eventually. I mean, look at George Lucas. He gave up Star Wars to Disney.
Yeah, but George Lucas, somewhere deep in his heart, still had some level of integrity. I think we cracked the code last week on this episode in which we said that the reason why he gave it up is because he just couldn't take people saying the thing he loved was shit and he was ruining it anymore. This is something that Michael Bay doesn't give a fuck about. He just loves making the cash. So whenever people say, "Oh, this is terrible. You're ruining my childhood. Please stop doing this," he just goes, with your broke ass. That is the That is the Michael Bay reaction to the
Michael Bay's
Transformer
black
fans
now,
telling him
apparently.
this stuff sucks.
With explosions in the background and American flag.
Yeah, I was about to
waving.
say, this movie gives him the ability to make a film that is nothing but explosions and cars and tits.
And
You
lens
think
flare
he's
and
giving
shaky
that up?
cam.
He'd do that shit for free.
I'm
Tits would
waiting
make it
for,
rated R,
like,
though. Can't have
I'm
that.
waiting for
Less money.
robot tits, you know?
There was in the second one. Remember there was that robot chick in the
No,
second one?
I want like
Robot
the female
balls.
Transformers, you know, like there
There
were
was-
girl
There was
Transformers in the
RC
cartoons.
RC was in the second one.
RC was in the second one, had one line, and then got shot right then after she said it.
But this is a
Oh.
movie that gave us the robot testicles.
Oh my.
Oh, yeah.
There's
and
like
robot heaven.
blood and robot boobs and robot balls.
And
What
that,
amazes
and that
me
prostitute
is that-
who was secretly a robot.
What amazes me is that there's another franchise out there that just keeps pumping them out and keeps ruining other people's fandom. And that's the Resident Evil franchise. And yet those movies keep making less money and keep dropping, and people are slowly kind of learning, wow, this thing is shit. So I'm wondering if when Transformers 4 comes out, if
It's
like
not
people...
in America, it makes more money everywhere else in the world. That's why they're still making them.
Oh god, you're right. Yeah, that's the weird thing is,
Resident Evil is
Battleship even made
Asian.
a lot of cash overseas. It's this weird thing in which, like, I don't know why, but for some reason overseas, maybe they just don't get as many of these films as we get here in America. We don't have it all around us at all times. So when they do get a Battleship, it's like, oh hey, something that blows up. That's new.
Yeah, Resident Evil is the Asian dumb action movie.
Oh, you're right. That is huge in Asia.
Yeah, and Transformers is the American one.
Yeah,
Well-
everybody's got that one. Oh, jeez. All right,
Resident
well,
accepts that everywhere else in the world exists except America. Like Japan is featured and Russia is featured in the new one. So of course they're doing better than most Hollywood movies in accepting and going to other locales and hiring different actors of different ethnicities.
Yeah,
well,
going back-
wouldn't
Only
that,
two-
hold on. You're giving the movie credit for what the games do. He's just doing what the games do. That's not, you don't give the movie credit for that.
Actually, no, the game did the whole globe-trotting aspect thing like literally days after America. I mean, the movie even.
We're talking
No,
about
they started that with Resident Evil 4. And then in 5 they go to Africa. And then in 6 they go everywhere.
Yeah, but like the Resident Evil, the latest one did an actual globe-trotting like movie thing, whereas the game's just sort of like
Well, I
stuck in
think that's
one
just
location.
more of a, like, you know what, this is best
I think I'm
served
just
for
being
later.
picky.
This is best served for later in the show.
Yeah,
What's
we're
our
going to
next-
talk about Resident Evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's our
getting
next-
back
I
to
just-
Mark Wahlberg quickly. I think Mark Wahlberg is as good as his material, and that's about it.
Yeah, he is.
I would
I
just
just-
like. I just like them to take whatever script they've written for Mark Wahlberg, keep that, but throw Mark Wahlberg out and replace him with Jason Statham. I think that's the kind of Transformers.
I don't
No,
need
you know
my
what?
mother watching a
You know
Michael
the kind
Bay
of
movie.
Transformers movie. You know the kind of Transformer movies I want to see? Just make the Driver 4. I mean the Transporter 4. And then like halfway through the movie, it just turns into Bumblebee without any warning at all.
Oh, if you're in the middle of a transporter movie and then suddenly the car transforms, oh, that would be amazing.
That'd be
What did
amazing.
Who was the transporter then? Is it the transformer or the driver?
There's your tagline.
car transforms and then Jason Statham transforms.
Into Mark Wahlberg.
In a Marvel War.
Oh, Hollywood!
We did it, guys.
We did it. We actually made a good movie that people would actually want to see.
No, but we paid to see 50 times over.
I was about to say, I don't know how many people would pay to see this shit.
I just like to imagine putting Transformers in places where they just don't fit. Like, say, you're watching an episode of The Wire, and then the car transforms. or in the middle of Breaking Bad, the RV transforms.
The meth bot.
I just want Madagascar to turn into Transformers so that we can finally have Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Nice.
Dude, you really want Ben Stiller to be the star of Beast Wars?
Kinda.
I'd like to
Actually,
hear
that-
Chris Rock as the star of Beast Wars.
What was that?
I'd like
Chris
to hear
Rock.
Chris Rock as the star of Beast Wars.
And no one will give David Schwimmer a starring role.
I wonder why.
Such is the existence of David Schwimmer's life.
Yes. Oh, it's sad. He's directs, kind of.
You should
What's our
direct.
next?
Next story.
Jeff Goldblum is going to be in Wes Anderson's Grand Budapest Hotel.
That's cool. Jeff
Cool.
Goldblum is perfect for Wes Anderson dialogue delivery.
That is news that pleases me.
Well, he was in Steve Zissou.
He was. That is a fact.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou. Got it.
Yes.
All right. None of us have any sarcastic dick comments to make about that one. All right.
No, that's just
Pretty
news
cool,
that pleases us.
All right.
And last story that I could find is about. We're going to talk about Star Wars some more. I'm
All
sorry.
right. Go for it. Rumor meal time.
Okay, so this is the first step in a right direction for Star Wars. According, I was looking online, and apparently Michael Arndt, who is an Oscar winner, he wrote Little Miss Sunshine and Toy Story 3, has written a 50-page treatment for the next Star Wars film. And he's
Sold.
Sold, done.
He's most likely going to write the screenplay.
Sold, give it to me now.
Just give it to Brad Bird. I'm good.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
This-
no.
Why?
Give it to Brad Bird to write.
You can direct too.
No, and
Right.
direct. Write and direct. I want Brad Bird on
Have him
both
write
ends.
it with Michael Arndt then everybody's happy.
Oh, no, I know, but I love Brad Bird's writing is sorely underrated.
Oh, it is.
Because he gets credited as the director, but he totally wrote The Iron Giant. Did he write The Iron Giant? Because I know he wrote Incredibles, but did he write The Iron Giant?
Did he write Ratatouille?
Joe?
I'm getting a brain fart. I think he did direct Iron Giant.
He definitely directed
He
it, but he didn't
directed
write
it.
it.
Did he write it?
He didn't write The Iron Giant, but he did write The Incredibles, and that film
And Ratatouille.
some
Yes.
excellent writing. And
Wasn't the Iron Giant a book?
Yeah.
Iron Giant was a
It was
book.
based on a book,
It was an
but then
adaptation.
like Brad Bird transferred it into movie
Of awesomeness.
Yeah.
movie awesomeness.
The
I
best Vin
want
Diesel movie
I
ever.
want Chewbacca to fly the Millennium Falcon into the Death Star and go, Superman. That would be...
No, he just go, and then the subtitles would say Superman.
but then I would cry.
Okay, so whilst we're spitballing, Brad Bird directing, Michael Arndt and
Well,
Brad Bird writing, who would you like to star?
Well,
Well,
here's
we
the
don't know
thing.
what the story is.
Yeah,
what's the setting?
Exactly. Yeah, we're basically
You
just
just let
saying
me
who would we
finish.
like... Yeah?
I
Story
apologize.
the story treatment, which is apparently going to Brad Bird's office.
Mm.
Mm.
The story treatment does have Han, Luke, and Leia in it.
Yeah, but are they like in their 60s handing it on to the next generation or whatever it is now?
It just said that they're in the story, that there was
So we can
character-
finally get that Han Solo death scene, but
Well,
Harrison
let's-
Ford does
yeah.
what he wants.
Yeah, exactly. That was in the clause for him. If he's ever coming back, he has to come back and have Han Solo die. So here's my question to you guys. Should they have the original actors return to reprise these roles?
Yes.
Just have them do cameos in the background or something.
No.
I actually
They're
think
not playing the characters. I don't know. I don't think so because Harrison Ford... When was the last time you liked Harrison Ford in something?
Oh, well, I like him in this because he'll die.
He was kind
was
of
it?
funny in Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah, he
was
did a
just
good
surly.
performance.
Because he was being a surly old man, which is what he is. Harrison Ford only has two modes right now: surly old man or on ecstasy. Those are his two modes at the moment. And I don't want to see tripping balls Han. I
do. Star Wars Episode 7, Han trips balls.
Luke, I've got my own lightsaber. That's a glow stick, Han.
No, it does use the lightsaber as a glow stick, and it just like
kills
cuts.
everyone.
I'm so high right now on the Force.
No, just to keep Han Solo around. They'll kill him, and then he'll just be forced to come back as a Force ghost.
Oh god, that would be the greatest dick move in the history of film. Alright, we promised we'd kill you off in this one. Oh, by the way, Luke can still see you, so you have to be here for the next ones, but we gotta put you in, like, mocap balls the whole time. Alright, good? Alright.
I think the reason they should come back is because if they don't, there's a huge trap they could fall into of just kind of making the new characters. Or if they recast them, that's probably okay. But like they could make loads of, kind of copies of the original characters. Like here's your fake Han, here's your fake, and like no, just show old versions of them.
They could do Tron Legacy with younger versions of them, but done through CG.
That would be creepy as hell.
It was creepy, which is why it worked for Clue. Because
if they're not going to have Harrison Ford on there as old Han, can I just throw out Bruce Campbell as old Han?
Yes. Well, Bruce Campbell is anything, really.
Yeah.
If there's an original character I want to come back, it's Lando.
Oh, yeah. Lando's the one guy who's aged well from that entire cast.
Well, Billy D. Williams hasn't got anything going on at the moment, has he?
Nope, he's still waiting to become Two-Face.
I want to see the original cast come back purely so that then we can have this wonderful moment during the movie where you have all these fans there and they see what Mark Hamill looks like now, and everybody gets kind of confused as to who he is until somebody directly calls him Luke, and they're like, really? Is that Mark Hamill right now? He don't look like how I remembered him.
I'd be cool with Mark Hamill coming back, but with Luke as like a villain at this point, because Mark Hamill does good villain voices. I mean, he does
amazing villain voices.
He would make a great Emperor. And also, once again, this is time for Aaron's comic book corner. Ever since Star Wars ended, they have been making Star Wars comic books for the past 30 years. And I have never read any of them, but I asked some folks about this.
Yeah, they do the Luke villain thing.
Yeah, they did have Luke turn into a villain, and everybody keeps telling me that's like the best of all of them that have come out. So,
but do you really think they're actually going to acknowledge the expanded universe?
I'm not saying they're going to make the comic books or the expanded universe canon. I'm just saying if they wanted to draw upon something, it's been proven that people are willing to accept Luke as a villain now.
Just put Kyle Katarn in there.
Oh, yeah.
I've been rereading the Star Wars Legacy comic run, and I want that or a Darth Revan trilogy, because Darth Revan is by far the most badass Jedi and Sith ever created.
Oh shit, I forgot. We've got a huge Star Wars fan on the show here today. Yeah, Mike, you would know what would be the best approach.
Well, if you consider most expanded universes books kind of crappy, which they kind of are, like, you could do the Thrawn trilogy and the Thrawn duology, because that gives you Marjade and his marriage. Or just say, fuck it, and go 137 years in the future to the Legacy era with Cade Skywalker, who's just kind of like Han Solo with a lightsaber to a large degree. Or you just go into the Old Republic days where you still have the Empire and the Republic, because there's always just been an Empire and a Republic, apparently. And just have, like, hey, here's thousands of Jedis and thousands of Sith, and know what? Fucking Mandalorians.
Essentially Helm's Deep, but for Star Wars.
Yeah, just... Man, now this is making me want to go play Star Wars The Old Republic, but I can't.
What about Shadows of the Empire?
Oh, yeah, Shadows of the Empire works, too.
All of these sound like amazing ideas.
I understood none of those words, but I realized that has to be how you guys look at me whenever I start talking about my theories for Avengers 2.
No, because I am in there with you with these theories.
I haven't heard any of these theories yet.
Yeah. The only theory that I'm 100% positive on is that Miss Marvel will appear in Guardians of the Galaxy and she'll become the newest member in Avengers 2.
Yeah.
Which is good because they need more female members. Yes.
But
you watched the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, I've tried to keep up with it, but yeah, for the most part.
How would you feel if Dave Filoni did the next Star Wars film?
That could work. I'm also dude who did the Clone Wars miniseries in Symbionic Titan. We talked about his movie.
Genndy Tartakovsky.
Yeah.
Somebody just give him another Star Wars series.
Yeah, I would love to see him just do something.
That Clone Wars series was amazing.
Fucking ARC Troopers, man! God damn, his Clone Wars thing is probably my favourite just Star Wars thing. I mean...
Oh, it is damn impressive.
Oh, yeah.
Best thing it did in the last decade.
Yeah, Empire Strikes Back and the original Star Wars are great movies, but I don't know, it's close to my heart, that animated series. Just General Grievous is terrifying.
Yeah, and then you see him in the actual movie, and he's just...
He's pathetic. But it's... I don't know. I would actually prefer... I know they won't because it's Episode 7, but if they did embrace the CG or animated style of the Star Wars thing and just go full on in that way, they could come up with something amazing. But because they're going to mix it with live action, it won't have that impact that animated series did.
Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Who's the best villain?
Star Killer.
Wait, Hidden Apprentice, or are you just making a snarky, he was going to be Starkiller reference?
Both.
He just
I
wants to
hate
say
those games.
He just wants to
They're
mind
so
the Force
bad.
Unleashed exists and make us all angry.
Star Killer.
George
Before-
Lucas did say that it is part of the canon.
Fuck George Lucas.
Yeah, George Lucas doesn't get to say what is and what isn't canon.
Not
He just
anymore.
gets
Disney
to
does.
produce it.
Disney does.
Did he say that Knights of the Old Republic is canon?
That's a good series. Good for him to
I'd
say
be
that.
fine with that.
But then you can never do the Old Republic storyline.
That's all thousands of years, and the timetable's always kind of weird. Darth Revan. Just give me Darth Revan. That's all.
Darth Revan.
I'm
All
just
right,
gonna
I will look up
Refer
whoever
to that
is
in
later.
time.
I want infrared lightsabers.
Okay.
Future.
So any other news stories, Kevin?
I have a news story.
Yep.
I
Oh,
found-
Callum?
Yes, I found one. We have new voice cast members for that upcoming Lego movie.
Joy of joys.
We have Will Ferrell.
Okay.
We have Liam Neeson.
Okay.
We have Nick. We have Nick Offerman,
Okay.
and we have Alison Brie.
I care about 1.5 names. All right.
I'm the only one. Oh no, I'm not the only one. But it's a fact that movie would be better silent, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Lego
a fact
shouldn't
that would
talk.
be better as a robot chicken sketch.
There's multiple
Lego
Robot
Land.
Chicken sketches.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I tried to contribute something there, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle, you actually also had a news story. It just broke like an hour ago. and
Oh
you told me
yeah,
about
well,
it. Yeah.
yes. There's a Kickstarter for the Goon movie, and it made its goal. So yay!
I
Yeah.
remember this.
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's that one where they're going to pitch as like a half a storyboard thing, and then go on from there, right?
So
Yeah.
we talked about this on the episode. You guys weren't on here, and so that just made its Kickstarter
It just
goal.
made it like an hour ago. Yeah.
That's bad
Mm.
because it only had, when I checked a few days ago, it only had a few days left in its Kickstarter.
Well, yeah, it's still.
Yeah. It's still got like 30 hours. It's got 39 hours
I'm
left.
saying, yeah, it passed its goal. It's probably getting more money, so.
Yeah, but considering it took for what they're pitching, and like the quality of who's behind it and the studio, they should have made that on day 2.
Well, also, you gotta remember, no one knows what the Goon is, and also, you're kind of worrying that they...
It's the problem with what they're pitching. They're pitching a story reel that may not even get made. That's the thing, and that's what people are probably hesitant about giving their money towards.
I find that really iffy. Really iffy.
I don't know, I'm willing to trust them on this. I think they...
We'll just have to see for
Yeah, we'll just have
ourselves,
to
alright? So.
Like, the story pitch is the entire movie just crudely and roughly animated, just like pencil drawings. And that's it. Like,
No, I like.
like even
Yeah, but
if
it's
they
like,
can't
what about
pitch
the,
this originally for the movie, they could be able to make this into a movie like they did that with Rango, and that got made. But this, it's hard to say whether this will actually get made if they couldn't get it before. It's hard to say. I hope it gets made, but
Well, you're saying that even if they have the money to make it, they might not make it?
like the $400,000 is just to create this story reel. They need the rest of the money from studios to create the final product.
Oh,
too.
I
So-
see. I see
So
what
to
you're
make
saying.
it a full CG movie, they need the money from the studio.
Mhm.
And because studios have already passed on the film prior to this, I'm not sure whether it'll get made at all.
Like maybe when they see like how much, maybe when they like realize the Kickstarter thing, they're like, oh, people actually want to see this.
It's-
They actually
there's-
want to spend money on this.
That's-
I would
that
see
is-
that in the other way, in that they saw this Kickstarter barely made it, and it's only $4,000 when fucking Double Fine made $2 million in a day.
I thought it was 400 grand.
That's what I meant, $400,000. But like, I mean, compared to some ridiculous Kickstarters, you could see that some studios may have the perception that means that there's less support, even though actually there's a load of other factors about the Kickstarters and the fact that Kickstarter's down at the moment because its buzz has ended, and the fact that
I think it'll be more of the number of people that donate, not necessarily the amount, because I know that whenever it comes to anything, like, publishing a book, publishing a script, publishing anything out there at all, we now live in an era in which nobody wants to do the work. Agents are nothing more than middlemen who collect cash. Now, agents used to be people who went, okay, I'll find a way to promote your thing. I'll find a way to get your thing out there. Now, if you submit anything to anybody, you're just going to get a letter back that says, how many friends do you have on Facebook? How many Twitter followers do you have? So they just want to know that you already have a built-in audience. So
I looked at the Kickstarter page. Apparently only 7,000 people want to see this film.
Oh.
Because it's 6,998 people have backed this project.
Ooh. That's going to raise some questions.
And there could be a way larger audience out there who just didn't back because it was uncertain, which means I don't think this film is going to get made because of the disconnect between Kickstarter and the studio system and the way they see popularity as having to be built in rather than building it as they go on. I think that's a shame, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
From how they have all the rewards set up, they have pledged $10,000 or more, and you actually get to see the story reel, and only one person put $10,000 in. And of course, that's asking a lot, but only one person will actually see the merits of what all that money went towards.
That is sad. It should be if you donate $10, you should be able to see it because that's the price of a movie ticket. So they should send you a video file or something.
Well, I think they will. If say the film doesn't actually get made, I bet they will send it out. I bet they'll go, sorry, the film didn't get made, but here's the best we could do on the budget.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah. But yeah, and also, even if it doesn't have that many, if it didn't make the money early enough or whatever, then, how many times have we seen somebody keep saying they want to make something and the studios tell them no, and then they go out and they make a crappy version of it themselves, and then the studios go, oh, okay. That's happened tons of times. So,
I don't want to sound like I don't want this project to happen. I do. I saw that original trailer a couple of years ago, and I thought it was really cool. So I do want to see that movie. I do want to see Goon, but how they've kind of come to this road and sort of the avenue and the sort of the rewards that Kickstarter has implemented that you have to give your people for the backers. I'm not sure if this is. I'm not sure. The other film that had the Kickstarter was it was a Dan Harmon and the guy, the writer from Eternal Sunshine. What's his name? Charlie Kaufman. They have a stop motion film together, and that's getting made. They'll have a finished project. This Goon film will have a story reel, and that's not a finished product in some other person's eye.
All right. Well, yeah, it's one of those things which we're just gonna have to wait and see. But it's made it to the next step.
I hope it gets made because the same thing. It happened with Rango. They funded the production company that was making it, gave ILM X amount of dollars, and they made a certain amount of minutes of film. They showed it to Paramount, and Paramount gave them the rest of the movie, or the rest of the money to make the rest of the movie. So it can work, but this is a different avenue than Rango took.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for news. Let's head into our trailer talk before we get to our main topic. This week we're going to be talking about the World War Z trailer.
What? I didn't catch that. Please say it.
Are we going to be talking about the World War Z? Oh, damn it, I thought you were going to stop me that time. All right.
WWZ.
What would Zebus do? Yeah, the World War Z trailer. Oh, that one you stop? All right. The World War Z trailer that just came out.
What's this movie you keep talking about? I thought it's called World War Z.
I don't know. That's what I thought.
Oh, you silly Canadians.
World War Zod, which...
Well,
in which Zod summons the demons from hell.
We kneel before him.
Oh yeah, that was the other stupid-ass news story that came out this week. They said, "Oh, don't worry, General Zod will not be saying kneel before Zod in the Superman film." I was like, "Yeah, but he's still gonna be." But he's still going to be in the Superman film. You're not seeing the big dumb part of this movie.
For Zod.
General
Stand
Zod.
before Zod. Crouch
Cartwheel before Zod.
But alright, so yeah, the World War Z trailer came out. This has been in production for a long ass time. And it's based on a very popular book. The book is actually about after this big zombie uprising, and it's about a reporter going around the world and basically seeing what's happened to the world after this. This movie, because Hollywood thinks that would be boring, is about the zombie apocalypse itself and going around the world during the zombie apocalypse. Everybody knows, I made no...
The book sounds like the first 10 minutes of District 9.
Kind of.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes of District 9 were awesome. So was the rest of District 9.
Nine.
I'd say if you said it was rubbish, Jackson, I was going to come and beat you.
But yeah, it's anybody who knows me knows I love zombies. And I watched this and I went, this just looks like another zombie film with just a very much larger budget.
The zombies reminded me of those vampires from the I Am Legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even really look like zombies. They just looked like very dirty people.
It's like CGI dirty people.
CGI
I mean,
dirty.
it's like the way they moved. They were like a wave of zombies. Like
Yeah, there's a moment where they're coming down a small street, and I mean, it literally looked like water, and I was like, okay, that's not how that shit works.
Like a
like a
surfer
giant
trying to catch
blob. Like
That
all
looks-
these zombies are coming together to form this giant blob monster, and it just smashes things.
It's like the dumbest part of the trailer.
It's Oogie Boogie, but for zombies.
I mean, I'll admit, I kind of dig the end where they're trying to climb the wall and the zombies are just climbing on top of each other. I thought that was kind of a cool
That's
image.
cool in concept, but it looked fucking awful.
It's the CGI does not look that good, but I mean, yeah, cool in concept. But yeah, the idea of zombies just being like a wave is like that's not how physics work. I mean, them climbing the wall and them being so ravenous they're climbing on top of each other just to form a power. Yeah, that works in physics. Zombies
But
turning
just like the news, zombie apocalypses occur by magic.
Just like what?
The news. I was doing
Oh, the news. Yeah, newsroom.
There
Yes,
we go.
okay. All right. But yeah, it's
That also explains why zombies run so fast. It's
and
magic.
yeah, and I didn't. Well,
But don't you know
hey,
magic is just all technology?
Let me just take this opportunity to say this. I meant to bring this up on the Halloween episode, but we never really got on topic. I'm okay with fast-moving zombies, because to me, yeah, if a zombie comes out of the ground and it's that corpse that's been degraded and, yeah, that's going to shamble along, it's not going to be fast. But the rule of zombies is if it bites you, it turns you into one. So if one of those shambling corpses bites me, it would turn me into a zombie, and I'm not, I'm in fairly decent shape. I can book it when I need to. I'm not a disintegrating corpse. I would still be a human being, just now turned into a zombie.
Shut down.
So, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm fit here. Like your body, you have to die before you properly turn, which means then your body is shut down. Which should essentially, when you come back, you should essentially be, slightly handicapped in a way.
Well,
But
regardless
sometimes-
of the scientific plausibility of whether they should be able to run or not, let us talk about it in a movie-going magic perspective. Because it doesn't matter if zombies wouldn't scientifically be able to run, they're fucking zombies.
Fast zombies are good for jump scares. Slow zombies are good for continuing senses of dread. If you use a fast zombie, you're just going a cheap route.
Yeah,
If you use
and
a slow
that's
zombie,
what
you can build tension.
Well, the different
That's one
kinds
of my
of
problems
movies.
with this trailer. Is that, yeah, fast zombies cause that continuous sense of dread. I didn't really get that feeling from this trailer. I mean, maybe it'll be different when watching the movie, but I felt no tension. There's that scene where they're in the stairwell, and I was just like, and he says, they're coming. And I was like, I should be feeling something at this point. I'm not.
That just reminded me of Half-Life 2.
Oh, dude, are there head crabs in this?
I hope so.
I think it's like, this isn't a zombie movie. They've taken this book, which is so different, but if you just see it as here is a movie with zombie-like monsters, zombie-esque, if you will, who run very fast and will be kind of PG-13'd up for the, I don't know if it's actually PG-13, but it's clearly...
And it can somehow turn into tidal waves.
Yeah, go more like big scope, spectacle. And I think it has the potential to be an okay movie on that front. I can't tell from the trailer; it's badly cut, but
Yeah, it could be an okay movie. I mean, and they are doing that one thing different with this, as opposed to other zombie films, is that it is taking that world view of it, which will be interesting.
It just looks like an apocalypse.
one interesting comment. I'm not sure if it was on Cinema Blend, but they described the movie as 2012, but with zombies.
Yeah,
I was going to say, it
yeah,
basically just looks like an
exactly.
apocalypse movie
Yeah.
with zombies in it.
I got a very day after tomorrow feel from the look of it, and that's a weird thing to say about a zombie movie, but it could.
But when Brad Pitt outruns the cold, then we can start calling them out on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very much zombies are a force of nature in this.
It's going to be the cold, like the sickness. He can outrun that. That's what Brad Pitt is. He can run away from illness.
Brad Pitt outruns the common cold. Okay,
Brad
that's
Pitt looks like Chris Hemsworth. I was like expecting him to like summon his
Thunder.
hammer
My
and
great
like, just
sustenance!
and just like uses thunderbolts to like shock all the zombies away from him and just
Get me an animal that's large enough to ride.
I like the scarf he was wearing. It's cool.
Did anyone else kind of get an Uncharted vibe from this?
oh
kind of.
yes.
Yeah,
Sure.
Well, I mean, except the fact Uncharted was good and that trailer was awful.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you get what I'm saying. I mean, even like the moment that Kevin mentioned the scarf, I was like, oh yeah, that is what this reminded me of. I'm getting very Uncharted vibes off of this.
Only instead of running away from hordes of spiders, you're running away from hordes of zombies.
If Brad Pitt starts climbing stuff for no reason.
I see something shiny.
I can see the Uncharted parallels here. Then again, I could see Uncharted parallels in Puss in Boots. I think I can read a bit too hard into things.
I think it's a tone thing, and because Uncharted has that very like we're in some serious shit here, but we're going to kind of be epic and
light-hearted about it.
yeah, we're going to joke about it even though it's still happening. It's not happening, but the characters will use humor and that kind of fast-paced, fast-moving thing as a defense from that.
And also that world traveling, going to constant locations. I mean, like when you see the zombie wave coming down that very small tunnel, I just kept thinking about how many times has Nathan Drake been in a Middle Eastern town running down a very small tunnel.
3.
Very small alleyway. 3, yes.
Speaking of the humor, I'm not sure if this was intentional, but that moment where that traffic cop was there talking about Pitman, he's just suddenly murdered by a garbage van that pulls out of nowhere. That's fucking hysterical.
First time I saw that, I just went, oh shit.
That's just fucking hysterical.
Well, I think a lot of the reasons this trailer is terrible, and don't get me wrong, it's quite a bad trailer. You can't read into the movie about it. It's just cut very badly.
Oh yeah,
There's too
you
much.
can't get the vibe of the movie.
No.
I blame the fact that I don't think they've decided on a rating yet, because the problem is that if they choose PG-13, then they'd have to show like that PG-13 action movie. But if they suddenly say they want to switch to R, because come on, you can't make a half-decent zombie movie and not have it with an R rating, then they'd have to pick a tone and turn away the audience. But for now, they're kind of trying to leave their options open. It just leads to a jumbled mess of a trailer that really doesn't do anything.
That's very true. Yeah.
What was I Am Legend? What rating was that?
PG-13.
Yeah, they're going to go PG-13 because this is Iron Man Legend with zombies.
That vampire zombies though.
Yeah, no, I know.
Something I did like in the trailer.
Go on.
I did like the family dynamic in that one scene in the car. I do like that was good.
Well, what was the last zombie movie to actually fully do family in a half?
Oh yeah, very good point.
Yeah, that is different.
Closest I can think of is the original Dawn of the Dead, because there was a husband, wife, and a baby on the way. But I mean, yeah, this is a full-on family.
The closest I can think of is Shaun of the Dead.
Oh yeah, there's
with his mum.
I can think of 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, they made that sort of.
Oh yeah, father, daughter, yeah.
Because there are a few zombie movies that have families in them, but most of them are just there for them to get picked off.
Yeah.
Whereas it'd be nice to see one that's completely based.
Well, yeah, this one is the family's safe. You see the family on the aircraft carrier out in the ocean. No zombies can get to them out there, and he has to go out into the wild. Which that is an interesting dynamic. You're right.
Oh, jeez, Walking Dead. Tons of families on.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait. Oh, nah. Yeah.
All of
Did
The
you
Walking
watch-
Dead.
Has the newest episode of Walking Dead premiered in Britain yet?
It's premiering literally right now.
I'm not watching The Walking Dead anymore. I hear it's great now, but I fell off. Sorry.
Season 2, I'm
they-
guessing, right?
I fell off in the second season, but everyone has told me in this most recent episode they fixed the 2 problems I have with the show. Not going to say anything more than that, but
straight
Watch
after the
Seriously, just watch it. This season is really good.
Like
It's a great
straight after the mid-season finale, possibly even mid-season finale of season 2, it got it started to get good again, and it's now been really good.
Just watch the last season of season 2 and then start season 3.
Yeah,
Right.
the last half from there, it's just up. It's just.
And
up.
I do know that this season introduces the governor, which is badass.
He has been amazing.
Creepy.
Cool.
David Morrissey is playing the shit out of that character.
David Morrissey.
Yeah, David Morrissey is your governor, and he does a better southern accent than Andrew Lincoln.
Fucking sold. No one told me David Morrissey was in this.
Yes, he is your governor, and he is fucking creepy.
Now I just want to go watch State of Play.
But don't you
Well,
always
you
want
can
to
do that
watch
after we
State
get
of Play?
done. Well, you can get done with that after we do this episode, and we're going to take a quick break right now, and then we're going to come back with our main topic, which is, in honor of Wreck-It Ralph, video game movies.
Video.
Oh, yes.
Video games.
I'm keeping that in.
It's a thing that you play it with.
Okay, in honor of Wreck-It Ralph coming out actually it came out last
Are you
week.
not going to sing this time?
Jackson
I don't-
can rap.
I
What
got
song
something.
would I have to do?
The Sugar Rush theme.
The Sugar Rush theme? S-U-G-R. I don't know anything past that.
S-U-G-A-R, jump into your racing car, Sugar Rush, Sugar Rush, and then it's all a bunch of Japanese I don't understand.
That was actually me doing that. I'm incredible.
It's actually
But yeah,
just-
in honor of Wreck-It Ralph coming out last week, we are going to do now an episode dedicated to video game movies.
Except for you British people who Wreck-It Ralph only comes out in, like, what, February?
Well, they've still seen the other.
Do they at least get Paperboy still?
I'm hoping. That's fucking amazing, Paperboy.
Paperman.
Yeah, that was the whole reason I wanted to see that movie initially, was because that's how I was going
Paperman
to
is
see
fucking
that.
amazing.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Great
Short, great movie, so
Yeah.
put them together and it's awesomeness.
Alright.
It melted my cold heart.
Yeah, we'll get everything, but still, fuck you.
Yeah. But yes, anyway, so we're now doing our episode dedicated to video game movies. So I'm going to just start this off real simple. Do any of you guys have a video game movie that you actually like?
the first
Yes.
Resident Evil.
Yeah, probably
No.
that one.
Come on, he gets his eye cut by the laser grids. Like, it's dumb, but it's an
Mila
enjoyable
Jovovich
kind of
roundhouse
dumb.
kicks a dog in slow motion.
Yeah.
I actually like Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia,
No,
like,
you're wrong.
No.
You're wrong.
No.
It's like
wrong.
the most decent video game based movie. So
No,
it's
you're wrong.
perfect, but
You're wrong.
I actually like the first Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
You're right.
You are allowed to.
Yeah.
That is the only one to me that actually kind of got it and wasn't too stupid, but just playful enough, and still took it just seriously enough. I mean, and the dialogue in that is, it's it's, it fits it, but it also puts in the humor that lets you buy into how crazy this world is. That's like when Johnny Cage is walking through Outworld and he says, "Great, I'm surrounded by people who want to kick my ass. It's high school all over again." I was like, that's a good little tension breaker. But I mean, I love how they I believe that when the problem that with a lot of video game movies is that people believe that you have to try and fit in their aspects of the game, and you absolutely don't. You don't have to you don't have to put the gameplay of the game in there. That's not what you're doing with the adaptation. That'd be like saying if you make a comic book movie, you have to somehow fit panels in there and angrily prove that has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, but then
that was
you
kind of my favorite part of Hulk, actually.
Really?
Well, it wasn't good anywhere else.
It wasn't good anywhere else. But
Pilgrim.
yeah, I believe that you don't, that you just have to adapt the story, and if you can come up with ways to put the gameplay in there, that's decent. And what I liked about the first Mortal Kombat game is I absolutely love that they do put the secret level in there. That in the first Mortal Kombat game, there is the secret combatant of Reptile, and they find a way to put a secret stage where he fights Reptile in there. I love that. But yeah, but aside from that, yeah, it's just the story. It's fun, little, it's fun, and it also puts in there some tension. It puts in there the, craziness that is Mortal Kombat.
Has anyone seen Tekken, the live-action one, or Tekken Blood Vengeance?
I have not. How is it?
On both. They're both awful.
Blood Vengeance is like if isn't like the Final Fantasy VII Advent Children movie. Yeah, basically that, but with Tekken. So, like, unless you understand Tekken. Ooh.
That was the CGI one. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Blood Vengeance. I found, like, of those two movies, Tekken, like, the live-action one was pretty much just plain bad and boring, but had one or two half-decent fight scenes, even if nobody seemed to actually fight like they did in the games. And the animated movie, Blood Vengeance, was just hilariously bad. But then again, that's probably because of the fact it tried to ask me to take the Tekken lore seriously, which, despite my desperate attempts to do so, I cannot at all.
Schoolgirl going to school, suddenly a panda.
See, like, I thought the Soul Calibur lore was kind of cray-cray, like,
We just use cray-cray.
So, Calum, why are you acting so cray-cray?
A tale of swords and swords, eternally cray-cray.
Soul Calibur, so cray-cray. I'll be back after these messages.
The only thing I liked about the live-action Tekken was the scene in the club because of the pants that the girl who was playing that one Tekken.
Montoya.
Yeah, only good thing about that
movie. I haven't seen the movie, but the moment that you started describing a girl's pants, I was like, it's going to be a reference to ass, and it's going to be Christy Montoya. I know the
Montero.
That's the best part of the movie.
For over a decade, I will not accept these names being pronounced wrong. I'm warning you now.
Yeah.
Wait, so who pronounced what wrong?
You said Montero. It's Montero.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's Asuka Kazama, not Asuka Kazama.
No one cares.
I do, and this is why I'm alone.
The Street Fighter 2 animated movie.
Hold on. I'm just picturing Callum about to get a girl back to his room, and then all that's a very lovely poster you have of Asuka Kazama. Get out! Get out!
I refuse to have sex with a woman who pronounces Tekken character names wrong. I have standards.
Dude, if you find a woman who can pronounce Tekken characters' names even close and is aware of the franchise, you put a ring on that shit.
No, if I find a woman in general, I'm putting a fucking ring on my face.
Do you break up? Do you break up with your girlfriends by punching them into a volcano?
Dropping them. Get it right.
Cal, what's your
just
pickup?
come back as the devil.
Cal, what's your pickup? Cal, what's your pickup line? Get over here!
That's Mortal
Get ready
Kombat.
I know it's just a game franchise, but still.
Get ready for the next battle.
What did I just say?
And then when you have sex, finish him.
That's good, great post-sex.
Oh god, I'm glad that Callum is now 18 so he can make jokes like this.
Final round.
Oh shit. Oh, but yeah.
That's the best contribution I've ever done to this podcast.
This is the best part of it. Oh shit.
Oh.
But yeah, you mentioned the Resident Evil franchise. Let's actually, you know what? We've already talked about 2 fighting game franchises. Before we get into Resident Evil, let's go with the other big video game fighting franchise that's attempted to make the leap to film. Street Fighter. Which
Day by Village was the most important day of your life, but
to me, it was Tuesday.
I love how the original Street Fighter was total shit, but it's now kind of become goofball shit. It's become camp. It's like celebrated in its shit. How about you get down from there and fight with?
It had Guile, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Guile, the all-American hero, is played by a guy who can't even speak English properly.
And then the scene where he has to give a speech to all the soldiers. I am going to get in my boat. I am going to kick Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is going to feel it.
It had Kylie Minogue as Cammy.
Oh, yeah. That was tough.
That's the weird thing about that movie. They got big stars for that piece of shit.
Wow,
Silver didn't fit at all, but stars.
The Street Fighter 2 animated movie was kind of good.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Yeah.
I won't argue that was good, but
That's pretty badass.
yeah. But if you were to tell me what I'd want to watch the Street Fighter 2 anime, the Chun-Li movie, or the Kylie Minogue Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter movie, I'm picking the Jean-Claude Van Damme one every time.
Yeah, because that one does at least have, like, goofy... Like, I just love how they so badly tried to force every character into that to the point where they weren't even caring. Like, they made DJ, like, Bison's right-hand tech expert. DJ is a fucking DJ from Jamaica who does nothing but breakdance.
But if you say the name, the fans don't care. It's enough that you acknowledge their existence.
Oh, the fans do care.
No, I'm using Hollywood logic here, Jackson.
Okay.
But yeah, exactly. I'm trying to think of all the other, like, just terrible ways they try. Oh, God, they made, like, Bison, not Bison, but Balrog,
God,
Chun-Li's cameraman. Like, he's the fucking bad guy. He beats the shit out, or whatever.
And next thing you know, like, one of the characters ends up as, like, the pizza delivery guy, and it's like, hey, here's your pizza, okay, bye.
Wait, was that Michael Clark Duncan who played Balrog in The Legend of Chun-Li?
No, he was Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Clark Duncan was Balrog in the Chun-Li movie.
Yeah.
Which the Chun-Li movie is so fucking bad. That one's not even
It had a
funny
Black
bad.
Eyed Peas member as Vega. That's how bad that movie was.
Oh,
Black Eyed Peas ruining all types of movies. That and Wolverine Origins.
oh, don't you put all that on Will.i.am. That.
But what Will I Am? It was. Oh. Well, I'm so glad I can't remember his name, because I
It was
remember the name. I
Will.i.am,
have to kill
wasn't
myself.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't Will I Am. It was some other one. But I'm glad I can't remember his name, because that means then I remember the names of Black Eyed Peas members, and I'd have to die of shame.
But yeah,
And
the Chun-Li movie, they had no fucking clue what they were doing with that. It's like Bison is some blonde-haired, blue-eyed German dude who, it's like they had some kind of an inkling of knowledge of it. Like in the video games, Rose shares a psychic link with Bison because they're like on the opposite ends of karma or something. In this, they make Rose Bison's daughter, and
Plot twist!
which, I mean, no, it would be a plot twist if, like, you had set it up one way and then turned it another way. This is just, Rose and Bison are connected, right? Alright, they're related. They're father and daughter.
Let's call it a lunch.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, good job, everybody. Let's go home. Where's my wheelbarrow of money?
What wheelbarrow of money? You made a Chun-Li Street
That movie.
Fighter movie.
Which, yeah, I'm sorry, how fucking hard is it to realize Street Fighter is about martial arts tournaments? There have been so many fucking good martial arts movies. Just make a fucking martial arts movie.
But martial arts movies don't make money, Aaron.
Yes, they fucking do.
Yeah, Hollywood execs.
I
made
don't
a
see the
genuine-
franchise potential or the 3D potential. Come on.
Dude,
How are we
It'd be
gonna pop
like
out
you're being
12
kicked
movies?
in the face.
oh, wait, in all honesty, Street Fighter has got some pretty good 3D potential. I mean, a Hadouken coming right at your head could look pretty cool if they did it right.
It's like, martial arts movies are according to Hollywood, martial arts movies will only make money if there's a CGI panda in it.
And if they're Asian.
Oh, so in other words, just make Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken's got a CGI panda in the whole fucking thing.
Can I know if somebody does get knocked on the head and decide that it'd be a brilliant idea to make another Street Fighter movie, can we please just make it animation? Because otherwise, then you've got to. Because the problem is that Hadoukens that will never look good in the movies unless you're willing to sink the money into it, and nobody will sink the money into a Street Fighter movie.
You're implying that animated films cost less than live action.
No, but I mean, then at least the difference between seeing a human person throwing a Hadouken and then seeing.
I don't know. I think it could work if you do it right. I mean, I will say this: I fucking hate Zack Snyder. However, if you could somehow put a leash on him and rein his crazy coked up ass in.
He'd be a good fit.
He is my guy to direct the next Street Fighter film, because I think he could do that. I mean, if you play Street Fighter 4 and you see that, calligraphy brush motion work, he's the guy who could fucking do that.
Also, he can kind of do video game movies. I mean, essentially, that's what he tried to do with Sucker Punch. He failed miserably, but he tried.
Sucker Punch is absolute dog shit.
That's beyond
dog shit. That movie is beyond dog shit. However, it does show that is a guy who, if you reined him in, he's got the potential to do a video game movie.
At least Sucker Punch.
Because he's still 13 years old.
Exactly. He's 13 years old, so if somebody just stood over him and went, "No, Zach," you'll have a little cattle prod.
Go stand on a naughty stool.
Yes. Go to your corner. Go to your room, Zach.
Don't turn around. You stay staring at that wall. Think about what you've done.
Exactly. If someone reined his crazy honey badger ass in, then there is a chance they could make a good Street Fighter film with Zack Snyder. I believe that.
Of course, after this Superman movie fails, then he'll never get a job again.
That is going to determine the rest of his career. But if you don't do it that way and you don't play up just the craziness of Street Fighter, which Street Fighter is the franchise you need to play up the craziness with. I mean, there's fireballs coming out of people's hands.
But does it have boxing kangaroos?
No, but
Little Joey's in the pouch is boxing as well.
It has Balrog, and Balrog's pretty crazy.
Yeah, dude, Balrog.
He needs his fight money.
Does it have a boxing, a real life moving training dummy that somehow comes to life?
You're completely ignoring Blanca, okay? Blanca is right up there with any crazy-ass Tekken character.
Can they make a silent Street Fighter movie? So, you have the clip of the fighting, and then it cuts to the black dialogue cart saying, "My fight money," or Blanca saying something crazy as he does.
Please.
Oh, man, Street Fighter is crazy.
Street Fighter is crazy, and that's why I'm saying you need a crazy-ass director to make that.
Well, that's why they'll never make good movies, though, because they don't really have a story to tell. Well, you could fit a story to the template, but Street Fighter as games don't tell good stories. They're more about the mechanics.
Yeah, Street Fighter has got shitty-ass stories to it. However, how many times have we seen a cool martial arts film in which we walked out and went, "Yeah, there's no story, but who gives a shit? That was awesome."
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
fighting games never have good stories. I mean, the only one I could think of was the Mortal Kombat.
I was about to say, Mortal Kombat at least tries with the stories. They have continuous storylines throughout all the Mortal Kombat games.
And then 9 did a fantastic reboot.
That was a great reboot.
Reboot sequel, even.
What's
exactly.
I was the Mortal Kombat live action miniseries thing with Michael Jackson.
That was decent.
That's getting a movie. That's getting a movie now. Kevin Tancon's making it and everything.
Yeah, and I thought those little things that they did online, I thought those were fairly decent. Once again, it shows that when you give the power to someone who actually knows what the fuck this thing is, they might actually turn out something decent.
Seeing it's the same people and with a bigger budget and an actual film-length runtime, I'm now crossing my fingers the new Mortal Kombat movie can be good.
Yeah, and this kind of leads me into Resident Evil now, because as I said, when you give a property to somebody who knows what the fuck it is, you can actually make something fairly decent. Paul W.S. Anderson
wants an excuse to show off Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, exactly. It's My Wife, the movie. Which that and Underworld should just have a crossover. It's nothing but directors trying to get their wives in skin outfits and have them fight.
Don't give them ideas.
Dude, they've already burned that fucking Resident Evil franchise to the ground.
There's only one more left.
Leon Kennedy was in the last one, and when that happened, I got so pissed because I was like, that was the one option we had left. You could still have done the Resident Evil 4 video game movie because you haven't had Leon in here yet. But nope, that's gone now.
Oh, wait
So,
for
yeah.
a reboot in 5 years.
But yeah, it proves to me
5
that
years
you need
too.
to get. Yeah. But that proves to me that when you give it to somebody who knows what it is, it makes a huge difference. Because Paul W.S. Anderson, he said, "Oh, I'm a huge fan of it. I fucking love the Resident Evil games." And when asked which is your favorite, he says 5. Now 5 is a fantastic action game. It's a bad Resident Evil game because it is not. Yeah, exactly. 5 was the one in which they went, hey, this is no longer scary in any way, shape, or form. This is no longer survival horror. This is pure action. So
Let's not
if
even
somebody,
try.
huh?
It's like they went, let's not even try to make it scary anymore. Let's give zombies machine guns. That's terrifying, right?
5 is fine.
No, it's not.
5 is a good action game. I really think it is a great action game. I played through that thing twice. I really enjoyed it. It is
I don't
not
like
a Resident Evil game. It is a totally different game that just wraps up the Resident Evil franchise.
And then they made a
but-
6th one anyway.
Ignore that.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Resident Evil 6.
We're not talking about the games. We're not talking about the games. We're talking about the movies. But it shows me that they gave that franchise to a guy who does not know what the games are. What he thought the games were cool-looking monsters. He did not understand it is a horror game.
I think he did in the first one, because the first one, although it was
A little bit in
scary,
that one.
it was an efficient ass horror movie. Like they release the virus, they go downstairs,
Zombies
exposition
grab
man.
people suddenly.
Yeah, dude gives exposition guy kills off, suddenly zombies. That is all the plot of that movie, and that's all there is.
And zombie dogs. And laser fields.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's pretty terrible,
It's not.
but it's
The
pretty
laser
good.
hallway was my favorite bit of that movie.
Well, it's never
But
as bad
once
as
again,
that
even
Nemesis
then, it was a
fight in
little
number
bit
2.
more like, because the Resident Evil games, the first one, it's a group of agents. They go into this house, so yeah, they've got guns, they've got training. Yeah, they go into this mansion. They have guns, they have training. But in that movie, he made like an entire task force just loaded to the teeth. So once again, even from the start, he was like, yeah, but I also a lot of action in this. It's like, no, that's not what makes this franchise
Military
work.
hardware.
Yeah, so let's go into this, because this is a question that I want to ask you guys. Why
Actually,
do you
before
think?
that, I just
Yeah?
want to breaking news.
Oh,
Hotel Transylvania 2 is coming out in 2015.
Jesus Christ.
Kevin, you've ruined my mood.
And there's also another breaking news story, which I wouldn't bring it up, but we have Aaron and Mike on. The newsroom is going to have Patton Oswalt on it.
That
Yeah.
could be kind of interesting.
Is
okay
it going to
Patton
drag any
Oswalt, don't get me wrong. Patton Oswalt is a good stand-up comedian. When it comes to his acting, he'll show up for anything, so that doesn't mean shit. Patton Oswalt will show up for the green room food booth. It's
Did you watch
for the
Big
craft
Fan?
services table. He doesn't care.
Did you watch Big Fan, though?
I tried to watch Big Fan. I mean, it was on TV. It's not like I went to the theater or anything to see it. But I was watching. I was like, don't get me wrong. He can act. I love the hell out of him in Young Adult. I think he's great in that. However, he will still just show up for anything.
Do you think he'll be able to do the Sorkin dialogue half decently?
Yeah.
They
I
gotta
don't
look
think there's
at-
half decent Sorkin dialogue on that show.
Well, you know the sort of like rat-a-tat sort of method, like line. That's
Yeah, and I mean, what's her face? Olivia Munn was able to do the Sorkin dialogue half decent on that show. So I mean, it's not really a matter of the acting talent. Although I do think that Patton Oswalt can act. I think I think I had a T there by accident. He can act. But yeah, it doesn't mean shit to me that he's gonna be on there. It's like, all right, whatever.
I was going to come back and watch it anyway. But anyways, we're suddenly turning this into another newsroom episode, guys.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on to this. This is the big question. And what was it? Rim25 actually wanted to be on the show, and he just hopped online. So what do you say we add him real quick, if I can find him?
Oh, how about
No,
this?
he hopped off. He hopped off again. Never mind.
Okay, never mind.
All right, I'm going to cut this whole
Listen
part
to
out.
this and feel sad.
Sorry, Mike, I tried.
I heard that, Kevin. It
What?
was faint, but I heard it.
Do it, Kevin.
What?
Do it. What?
Hold on.
didn't want a monster like I tried, Mike. I tried. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, Vince,
yeah, this was the question that I wanted to ask you guys, which is, I said that you need to give it to people who actually understand this and actually know the properties. But why do you think it is that they just can't make a good video game movie?
It's very
Because
hard.
no one in Hollywood plays video games.
I think that is part of it because, like when it comes to like comics, there are a lot of people who make movies who are big fans of comics. But when it comes to video games, I think that if you grow up playing video games and you really love them, you're going to say, hey, I want to get into making video games. You're not going to say, hey, I want to get into making movies.
Hey, Hideo Kojima did that, and look at Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid's a video game. I thought that was just a movie that you press.
Well,
button.
when they do make the movie, it'll literally be the most pointless movie in mankind.
There's already a Metal Gear Solid movie. It's called Metal Gear Solid 4.
Anyways, I have an actual genuine reason here. It's probably the fact that most video games, and especially ones they try and adapt, are essentially interactive versions of popular movies. Tomb Raider and Uncharted are essentially Indiana Jones the game.
Yeah, but
Grand Theft Auto is every gangster movie ever, a game. Resident Evil started out as a George Romero zombie movie, the game. And when you try and take something that's already trying to imitate a film, and then try and imitate that, you just get a pale imitation of another film.
That's kind of like saying that that the only way that any movie can be good if it's 100% original. There is potential. The problem is that people only look at it on the surface, on the most surface of levels, and especially look at Prince of Persia as the best way, as the quickest way of somebody fucking it up, and fucking up a golden premise.
I like Prince of Persia.
Well, I will get to that eventually when we obviously get around to talking about worst video game movies.
Well, I think.
Dude, there are so many worse than Prince of Persia. Even if you don't like Prince of Persia, there's.
I will get to my reasons. Don't worry.
But no, I don't think it's anything to do with adhering to the game or adhering not to the game or because it was an imitation of an imitation. That doesn't matter. That's all immaterial because it's that video game movies are made. They're a young format right now. They are always made by a producer going, that's a video game. I like video games. They make money. We can make this make money. And I've never seen a video game be made by someone who is genuinely like the Joss Whedon to the comic books. You haven't ever had someone go, I want to make a video game movie because I love this game. It's always producer directed.
You mean like the earliest comic
right there. I think you're very right there. There has never been a video game movie where the director came forward and said, I want to make this movie. It was always top down. It was always the producer at the top going, what's hot? What's a franchise that has a built-in fan base? And let's make it, and let's make that.
Yeah.
And BioShock.
But that's not
happening.
That's not happening.
But he still wanted to do that. So
I would love to see a hard R-rated BioShock movie, but it will never, ever, ever happen.
To be honest, I don't want to see a BioShock movie because the only reason that story works is because you are playing it.
Oh, yeah. I think there is a lot to that.
Yeah, like
BioShock TV show.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Rapture.
Yeah.
Start from the beginning of Raptures, have it be about Frank Fontaine and Andrew Ryan, and then have it on HBO, and it's perfect.
Yeah, 6-issue miniseries, 6-episode miniseries. I think it'd be fantastic.
That'd be a good idea. It will never happen.
Just put Rapture above the water. It doesn't where the city is doesn't matter.
I don't know. I think that the city being underwater does matter to it because it kind of creates a far greater sense of isolation when it's underwater.
It also proves the point that Andrew Ryan did the impossible.
Yeah.
And again, it's the whole uniqueness as well. Because you have lots of fiction out there of of seemingly idyllic city built on ideals falls apart due to corruption. But then of course you set it underwater. There's the hook.
If you're buying BioShock, you're buying Rapture. If you're buying the rights to that, you want
Columbia.
Big Daddy.
If you really want to go there.
No,
when Infinite becomes a big thing.
That hasn't even come out yet. We can't.
When it becomes a big thing.
But once again, we're talking about just the video game, not the idea of the movie.
Yeah.
But if BioShock does split into this Final Fantasy-esque, lots of different crazy locations, then you can make an argument for that. But right now, BioShock as a brand, as an image, that is Rapture, that is Big Daddies, and that's society falling
somewhere beyond the sea.
Yeah.
But yeah, as Jackson was saying, I think it is that from the top down. And when you look at things like, when you look at a lot of the games that come out there, it is just here's something from the movie. But it's not like when they do like a comic book Easter egg in there, and which is like just a very quick thing that only the fans will get. Whenever they do an Easter egg in a video game movie, they pause the entire thing to show it.
Hey, remember when Doom went first person?
Yeah, exactly. When Doom went first person, or like in the second Resident Evil movie, when they have Nemesis there, but it's totally different. It's 100% different from the game. There's no reason for that thing to even be called Nemesis, except that it was, hey, Nemesis is cool, right? People like him in the video game. We'll put him in here. Well, he doesn't fucking fit in this movie.
Alice and Nemesis have the world's worst fight.
Yeah, the second one is.
The second one's god fucking
horrible.
I actually liked Resident Evil 3.
Resident Evil 3 is a decent. 1 and 3.
People have told me that one's one of the better ones.
It is.
I've not seen it.
Is that the one in Sandy, Las Vegas?
Yep.
Or is that 4?
Yeah.
One where they try to become Mad Max.
And I thought it was pretty. I was really confused when they suddenly went back to the world being all grey again. I was like,
went back to the lasers.
Yeah, I thought it was like, wait, I thought Resident Evil had gone to this crazy desert type thing, and that's where this franchise was going. Which it's not.
Yeah,
great.
they have. That's my biggest problem with Resident Evil movies is that there is no fucking plan at all. Because in like the fourth one, the entire world is gone. In the fifth one, no, the world's actually fairly decent outside the United States. What?
Yeah, exactly.
And what the hell is Umbrella's plan in those movies anyway? In the games,
evil.
Exactly. In the game,
like
Wesker is just trying to destroy everything. In this one, it's no. The entire corporation has some kind of an idea. Well, you just turn the entire population into zombies. What do you do from here?
Wait,
make clones.
Wait, so you said the rest of the world is fine, but isn't there like an establishing shot of Earth that just shows like all of North America as a desert?
Yes, there is.
Jeez, like
there's no consistency there. It's
like some
nonsense.
sort of virtual system. It was like some sort of virtual system.
You could argue that Capcom doesn't know where Resident Evil is going at this point.
At this point, because they said, "Hey, the movies are popular. Let's make the games like the movies." But anyway, once again, that's the game.
So
that's
well
the games.
for Alone in the Dark.
Yeah, once again, that's the games. Let's
give it to Cliffy B.
But yeah, I think Jackson hit upon it. I think Jackson hit upon it. It's that the movies are made solely to grab cash. It's that they want an established property and when they have no love for it at all and no knowledge of it at all.
Yeah, you could draw a lot of parallels here between this and the comic book movies, like the initial ones that just started off as
exactly. That's why
ones, which means like in a couple of decades we might start seeing genuinely good and great ones, but we've got to get a really awkward process first.
And also, video games have only just started. I mean, I say only just. In the last 10 years, they've only really started telling great stories. Like, you could say early Final Fantasy games did have good stories and stuff, but really good stories are very new to video games. Whereas comic books, you think about them, comic books had been going since the 30s. And still, it took a while for comic book movies to become anything like what they are today. So, video games are totally in their infancy, and the movie industry doesn't have the intelligence to look at comic books and go, "Oh, we should give the writing and the directing jobs to people who care about them." They have to learn that for themselves. So, when the first success comes, they will start to grasp that. But until then,
when video games become art, they will become.
Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, you're right, because it wasn't until X-Men and Spider-Man did so well at the box office that suddenly they went, "Oh, what if we started making good comic movies and actually started putting effort into them?" It's going to be exactly the same with video games. As soon as they actually make a good video game movie, that's when they will understand. And you're right, when it comes to video games, that is an obsession, fandom, whatever word you want to use, that is totally not understood by anyone who has not experienced it. Anybody who doesn't play video games cannot understand that they can tell good stories, that they can actually do impressive things.
This is why I'm desperately crossing my fingers in the hopes that the Mortal Kombat movie will be good, because if that's good and it makes money, that could be the catalyst to starting this whole idea. Because as far as I can tell as well, Kevin Tankerman of the web series Matt is a fan of the film, is a fan of the games.
I don't know about Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat could be good, could be bad, but I think because of how old and how ridiculously stupid, in a good way, but it's a very stupid story. It's ridiculous nonsense. It is not one of the modern, like, your Mass Effects, your Assassin's Creeds. I know they get convoluted.
But also...
Assassin's Creed's kind of
Oh, they're
dumb.
totally dumb in a movie way, but they have a intelligence that they aim for a tone which can be transferred onto a movie far more directly, whereas Mortal Kombat has changed with the times because it was made in the 90s originally.
and also
they take consideration and time into creating the universes. Besides, like all these fighting games where it just seems like they're making it up as it goes along.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Please
and
let this
also.
stop. Please let this stop.
But also with Mortal Kombat, even if Mortal Kombat does really well, Mortal Kombat will do well because it's going to have cool ass action scenes, not because it's going to have a great story.
Yeah.
So they will not learn the lesson from Mortal Kombat.
That's why I've got a second set of fingers crossed with this Fassbender Assassin's Creed movie.
Assassin's Creed, and I was going to eventually.
No! Oh, the Assassin's Creed movie is such a bad idea. Why are they doing an Assassin's Creed movie? That should be a
Money.
TV show. No, that should be a TV show. Assassin's Creed is a season, a time slot.
It always should be, definitely.
That is another one of the problems when it comes to video game movies, is that video games are 40 hours long. They are long-ass things for you to fit in. And that's why, if they ever decide to, like, make an Uncharted movie or something, do not try and adapt any of the games at all. Just make a brand new Nathan Drake adventure for the big screen.
Like, if we're talking about...
I think they can make a Grand Theft Auto TV show because they already made The Wire.
Yeah.
If we're talking about video games being adapted, just Persona 4 the animation. That is a straight adaptation of the game, made by the same people in a different format, showing you can do that shit.
Yeah, but even that took a while to start to get good, because we started to watch even more of that, and yeah, in the beginning couple of episodes, it was just a straight word-for-word adaptation of it. It wasn't until, like, episode 5 or something that they suddenly decide, oh, let's start, using this new format. Let's start actually telling the story as it would fit into a TV series.
It's like...
For me, it was the episode where they did, it was Yukiko's castle, where they actually expanded on Yukiko's backstory. That was not in the game.
Exactly, yeah.
It's this is like reminding me of like in the early 90s when they had like the Sonic cartoon and Mario cartoon on Saturday mornings.
Oh
and
God, yeah, I remember it.
No good.
What about the Donkey Kong Country cartoon?
I remember that one too.
Oh yeah.
With terrible ass CGI.
Yeah.
That was one of those first cartoons that decide, hey, we can do CGI on a weekly basis. No, you fucking can't. 5 more years, brother.
Yeah, I guess that like goes to show you, like, video game is like definitely not the easiest media to.
And also, the examples that you just brought up are platformers. And I hate saying this, I don't think you can adapt platform to anything other than just a sugary sweet Saturday morning cartoon. Because
No, it's not
take
possible.
take the Mario Brothers movie, when they tried to put a story onto that. Let's actually just stop and think about what Mario Brothers is as a game. Mario Brothers is a plumber who gets sucked into an alternate world where he saves a princess and her Toadstool Kingdom from a big monstrous green thing. Unless you get Pendleton Ward to make that movie as animated, it can't be done. Pendleton Ward can make a great animated Mario Brothers movie, no one else. And not live action, certainly.
Wes Anderson.
I would love it for, like, imagine a poster with a silhouette with a shotgun and, like, the caption, they killed his sister, now he wants revenge. Crash Bandicoot.
I would love a Wes Anderson Professor Layton movie.
Oh my god. Yes.
Layton make a great TV show. Actually, think about it.
I did, that'd be awesome.
Like,
You know what? Bringing that up, I was going to say this towards the end, but what would your dream project be as far as either a video game movie or a video game TV series? Like any game, director, actor, anything that you want to assign to it, any kind of a pitch. What would, if you had like one idea that you could get out there, what would you say it would be?
TV series done. I mean,
I like to see a Sly Cooper TV series, like for Saturday mornings. I think that'd be like really cool.
That'd be pretty badass.
I will hold up the cast in the Sly Cooper game as the best cast in any platformer. I love them to death, and that'd be brilliant for a kids TV series.
I think Ratchet and Clank is my favorite for that, but yeah, Sly Cooper is up there too.
Deus Ex on Cinemax.
You mean Skinamax, right?
Exactly. You'll get your heady cyberpunk stuff and then a random ass sex scene. Oh yeah.
Sometimes both at once.
Oh.
I just said Bioshock on HBO, and just change the title to Rapture.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I would
I
like
think
to see. I think a Fallout TV series could be a half decent idea. Or at very least that whole idea of post-apocalyptic wasteland with 50s technology. And
Alright,
lasers.
I got one. CSI, Citadel Security Investigations. Basically, police procedural in the Mass Effect universe. Perfect. Set on the
Yes.
Citadel. Do that shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to see Sci-Fi Network has actually, from what people have been telling me, have been doing some pretty decent shows lately. Like I have really enjoyed like Eureka, and people keep telling me that Alphas is really good.
Alphas is good.
I would like to see Sci-Fi Network try and make
Oh,
an American Persona series, because with Persona, first off, that's perfect for television because you can't fit all that shit into a movie. But
No.
because it does.
Takes place inside of television, so perfect.
Well,
Nice,
Persona 4 takes place inside of a television. Persona 3 takes place inside of an invisible hour that exists between midnight and 12:01
The great
a.m.
thing about
I
Persona...
want Persona 3, I want Persona 4.
No, but no, the great thing about Persona is if you adapt it on a sci-fi or something, you don't take the situation, you take the basic thematic concepts of
Exactly.
American high school, because you don't want to do a fucking Japanese high school when you don't understand
Exactly, Jackson.
that. Fighting monsters. Perfect. Fucking Buffy
Yes.
the Vampire Slayer. Right there.
Exactly. Kevin, you say that you want Persona 4. I don't want Persona 4. I don't want Persona 3. I don't want Persona 2, 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I
You want a new idea.
I want
want
totally new and have
I
it
want-
just be a
I want an
new
American
protagonist.
GA.
I want
And
steak.
have it be, a whole new cast, an American protagonist, boy, girl, don't care, high school, college, don't care. Have it just be set in America, and you'll figure out, it doesn't even have to be set in America, set in Britain, set in Canada, something like that, just some new location where it is impossible to have any ties at all beyond Igor to the original games.
Just a 4-season show dealing with the way Persona ties in the combat to the actual character development is so perfect for a TV show that I can't believe they haven't just stolen that yet, because that is perfect for a teen TV. Like 4 seasons, people growing up, also fighting monsters, but that is a catalyst for the emotion. That is exactly what you want for a TV show
Exactly.
based on a video game.
And when you think about Persona, all of them take place during the school year. When is the school year? When TV shows are not in reruns. Exactly. It fits perfectly.
We just
And yeah,
spent half an hour talking about Persona again.
Yeah.
This is the
This time it was
newsroom podcast all over again.
This time it was on topic and we on.
Yeah, this time it was fucking on topic, guys.
I think we're
Who the
all,
fuck is sending
all
me
talking about video game TV shows. I think if there's one, this is my own personal feeling.
Go on.
Grim Fandango movie can work.
Please let that happen.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Also,
Just,
wait, doesn't Disney own that now?
Yeah.
Yes, they do. They do.
Make it so, House of Mouse.
They also own the Monkey. They also own the Monkey Island stuff now as well, don't they? Or is that going to stop there?
Yeah, but Disney's
Yeah.
already done their pirate thing a lot.
Then the Day of the Tentacle.
Oh, shit!
Yes.
Oh, fuck, yes!
Can we get that Sam and Max animated series now as
Sam,
well?
Sam and Max is its own thing. Sam and Max is licensed.
Oh,
Yeah.
They should make
yeah,
a
damn it.
Besides, there was already a Sam and Max cartoon.
There was.
Oh yeah, there was.
They should
Wasn't
adapt
that the guy who
those
did the tick?
Gromit games.
I think
Oh,
so.
wait.
Sorry, Kevin.
They should adapt those Telltale Wallace and Gromit games. Oh wait, never mind.
I like how we're just going through Telltale licenses here, trying to get them adapted.
They should really make a TV show. They should make a TV show of that Walking Dead game.
Yeah, they should.
Telltale
That'd be
should just make a TV show. I think they'd be half decent at it.
What's that Telltale game about them traveling through time? Wait, that would be terrible.
Guys,
that'd be so
I was just
depressing.
wondering if you do you remember the fake Legend of Zelda movie trailer?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, dude,
I was
that was.
wondering, like, what would you think if, like, they actually did make a Legend of Zelda movie? It's like, I think.
Peter Jackson doing
Oh
Legend
yeah,
of Zelda?
exactly.
That's a good pitch. I'd be down with that.
Me too.
You'd
What
have
about
to
you
cut out
guys?
the water dungeon.
Have anybody seen that meme going around? Just Obama when he was sitting there waiting to see if Osama bin Laden had been killed, but then it showed what they were looking at on the TV, and it just says water level. And it's Legend of Zelda Water Dungeon.
Water levels suck.
True that.
As far as like a straightforward, easy to adapt story, Zelda probably the easiest.
Yeah, because Zelda is
there.
straightforward. It is.
And
just
it's
open it
got
up,
plenty
it's
of reboot potential because of the 3 timelines.
Yep.
Oh yeah, exactly. That's the other thing about it, is that when you make a game, once again, because games are so fucking long, the more likely you are to be able to do your own thing, the better chance it has of succeeding. And with Legend of Zelda, yeah, what's the story? Zelda is kidnapped by Ganon. Take this sword. It's dangerous to go alone. Done. That is it. Start the movie.
And again,
And also, how fucking good would it be to have like just some big orchestral?
Only if they save that for the end of the movie, just when.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You can't have that main credits. You have to pull out on the entirety of Hyrule. That song kicks in. Credits. Best movie ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, Hollywood can still take like clearly obvious, pictures of source material and fuck them up anyway. I mean, case in point, Prince of Persia. But again, we'll get to that.
Dude, we are listing off ways to do it right. This is the video game repair shop hour, and we are
The positive cast.
the positive cast. I like it. Oh,
Yeah, Zelda-
shit.
Positive cast. Get it? Because screen pops and pause and everything. And
Oh, I thought you meant pause.
Oh my
in
God.
video game.
Oh
well,
god.
we do that too. It could be like
Super duper meta references. My brain has exploded.
It's the inception of puns.
Just inception
Punception.
your brain.
Inception your brain. That should be the name of the site we're trying to build. But yes.
Mm.
I'm
Oh,
just gonna take you saying Inception the brain, and that's gonna be a soundboard.
Have you got his goddammits yet?
not this episode. No, we've been mostly on top. Again,
He
I've
had
been
the bit where he went, "Oh shit! Oh fuck!" That was
No.
awesome.
I mean,
That
like,
was
for
good.
the soundboard in general.
Anyway,
Anyway, the soundboard can wait.
Yeah, what we're on about.
Final Fantasy Advent Children. Let's talk about how ridiculous that is.
That is
I
balls
played
to the
Final
walls
Fantasy
banana.
VII.
well, it's not. At least it isn't as bad as the other Final Fantasy movie. That had nothing to do with the franchise at all
Well,
whatsoever.
I have to admit, I actually like that Final Fantasy movie, but it is not a Final Fantasy movie.
No, I don't
And
even know why they have that title there. I guess just to like rake in the geek
There's
fans.
some dude named Sid, and that's it. That
Look
is
pretty.
it.
Gaia.
It's like, dude, there are very few rules that make up a Final Fantasy game. You must have summons, some dude named Sid, you must have chocobos, and, it must be story of
What?
going out into unknown lands and traveling the entire world to save it.
Well,
They
You
had
need that when you have
named Sid.
angst.
When they when the film ends and they've beaten whatever evil, does it go da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na?
No, it
No.
becomes a song that's like an eagle flying through the mountains.
Boring.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with that. I like the movie. I think it's a fairly decent
Yeah.
film. It has nothing at all to do with Final Fantasy.
It
I
looks
think
really
everybody
pretty.
hates it because it is called Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
And it's
exactly.
called
So it's
a
within
Final
Final
Fantasy movie.
Yeah, if it was just called The Spirits Within,
It'd
it'd be like, oh, that was a fairly decent little CGI sci-fi film. I like it.
It has the highest Rotten Tomatoes score out of any video game movie by about 10%. So
No,
I
I
can
think
believe that.
No, Prince of Persia has the highest rating.
no, Prince of Persia 35. It's 43.
Where's the
Oh,
original
damn.
Pokemon movie?
Prince of
Oh,
Persia.
let's just think about the Pokemon movies.
Oh, the Pokemon movies
plural,
are so
because
terrible.
they keep making them.
Because money.
Fucking.
I've been meaning to watch all like 14 of them as like just like I'll watch and I'll write and it'll give me something to do. Ugh.
Do you really think it's
Here we
worth it?
go. Start a new blog called I Choose You. And then
Nice.
you movie title.
Oh.
There you
Oh
go.
god, I gotta start writing these down because when I build the website, which by the way, just a little update on what's going on with the website. The other Mike has been telling me don't buy domain names just yet because he has an old computer and he knows a little bit about setting up sites, and he is going to try and turn his old computer that he's not using anymore into our hub, into the thing to
Nice.
hold all of our stuff.
I love this
So-
guy.
Yeah, fuck yes,
Yes.
Mike. I wish he would get on right now. I'd love to congratulate him. But, Mike, where are you? You're still not there. Anyway,
Wait, Mike's here.
other Mike.
Oh, other Mike.
Yeah, this is TV Mike. That's horror Mike that I'm talking about.
Oh.
But yeah, Rim 25 is setting this up. So yeah, I just want to give everybody an update on why I have not actually bought any of this stuff yet. It's because Mike has told me don't do this yet because I'm setting something up. So, fingers crossed.
Just let me know when it starts, and I'll turn up to ruin it.
But yeah, but yes, I will gladly give you guys a Pokemon cast called I Choose You.
Yeah.
So,
has anyone seen the uncut opening of the History of Mewtwo?
Yes.
By chance? That was so much better than the original one that I saw in theaters.
No, but
I guess it's too deep for children to understand.
It makes you just think.
Evil.
That's the weird thing about Pokemon is that when you get into all the weird theories and stuff about that game, it's so deep and creepy.
I know, the description.
It is essentially about
oh my god.
The thing is, the deeper and creepier it gets, the worse that first movie becomes because of the ending.
Yeah.
Which is the most bullshit ending of all time.
No,
really.
it is.
Pokemon Tears Cure Ash.
No,
Yeah.
not even that bit. The bit where
The memory wipe.
Yeah, where because everything gets all fucked up.
Everyone's memory, so they forget all the lessons they learned from.
Retcon.
Fuck you.
They do an entire movie about how we probably shouldn't be fighting like this. Pokemon is fucked up. These are living people.
It is slavery.
This is the slavery. He was tortured. He was raised for killing. And look at how messed up he's become. Look at how horrible this has made us. And then Mew's nah, this is cool. Johto, whatever.
Reset.
Johto in the
biggest
house.
obvious point of all, though. Digimon's better than Pokemon.
True that. High five.
Word. Yep.
I don't know about the
High
Digimon
five.
movie, but
No, the Digimon movie is terrible, but our war games, the middle bit, amazing. Japanese version,
The
great.
Digimon movie is terrible. Summer Wars is badass. Summer Wars took Digimon.
Summer Wars is not as good as
the guy who created Digimon the movie was like, I could do this better, and so so that's why he goes and creates Summer Wars. So I suggest if there are people out there who have not been in the Digimon franchise, I suggest you just watch Summer Wars, because that's pretty much, it explains it much better, what the Digimon movie's about and everything, without having to go too deep into the franchise. So.
Then why do you disagree?
Because the Summer Wars is not a remake, but everything that is good about Summer Wars comes from the middle bit of the Digimon movie, which, if you watch the original middle bit of the Digimon movie, the Japanese original, that's actually a really good, well-paced film. It's crazy tense, and it has some good character work.
Yeah, where is the original Japanese Digimon movie? Because I've been trying to find it. It's I could just find the American fucked up version. So.
Well, I like some stuff about Summer Wars that was not in the Digimon movie.
Definitely.
I like Dean Venture getting close to the family and all that stuff. That was cool.
There
I
was
like
more
that
of
stuff. It's like.
Yeah. But yeah, but anyway,
I know
okay.
what you're all on about.
Anime.
It's
Anime.
not just for
Japan.
They did make Digimon video games, so we're still on topic.
We're still talking about Digimon. Actually, that is another interesting topic to bring up, is that we've mostly been talking about straight video game adaptation. But what about TV shows and movies that are not adaptations of games, but are based around games? Because Digimon is based around a video game.
Yeah, like the Digiworld type thing.
The Digiworld kind of thing, yeah, it's all set, but I'm talking Tron, Wreck-It Ralph, things like that.
Oh, alright.
What's everybody's thought on Tron?
Tron's terrible, but the idea of Tron is good. But Tron is boring as shit.
The first
Wreck-It Ralph
Tron
did
is
Tron better.
Yeah,
The first Tron is, it's a classic because, it really, it the technology was pretty advanced for its time.
It was ahead of its time. It didn't quite know yet what it was doing.
Yeah, it's it's pretty to look at, but we're not quite sure what we're doing. But who cares? It's nice.
The first Tron, which was a film I watched 6 months before I watched Legacy. The first Tron was I used to actually really like visual effects, and that had a fantastic art style. And there were times in that where it was well paced, and where it had exciting sequences and it had a great world and characters. Unfortunately, it was boring. It was.
You have to remember this was made back when video games were basically Pong, and when you think about the throwing disc thing back and forth, it's eventually Pong, the video game that he goes into.
I like the racing scene.
The racing stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah, but basically, I like the disc battles and that sort of thing, but a lot of it is just really poor pacing. Like, there are long moments of that film where it drags, and it drags, and it drags, and it's got pretty much no story, and it's being anchored around these long sections where nobody does anything. And
yeah, with every other Disney property out there, whenever they make a sequel or something like that, they always re-release the DVD. With Tron, when Tron Legacy came out, they did not re-release the DVD of Tron, and there's actually rumors going around that the reason why is because if people went out there, bought the Tron DVD, they would go, oh, right.
Fuck this.
I forgot about this. And then...
Yeah, I did like Tron, and I appreciate it in that, but it's not a particularly good movie. It's like, and yet I hear all these people who decry Legacy as, quite rubbish and inferior to the original. I'm like, no, it's a better movie. Legacy is a very good movie.
Why didn't you just release like a special edition 2-pack?
Kind of, you want Tron Legacy? Gotcha, bitch. You gotta get the original Tron now.
Oh, they did that.
Well, that's what they did with the Rescuers. I mean, like, they did, like, a 15-year anniversary, so they have, like, the Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under in the same package. So I thought, like, they would do the same thing with Tron.
They did do that with Tron, but I'm talking, like, before Tron Legacy came out. Normally, Disney...
Wait. What are you saying about Down Under?
Down Under is good. I love Down Under.
Yeah.
I was worried some shit was going to start up here.
That's right. That's what I thought, bitch.
Move along.
But yeah, I'm talking about before Tron Legacy came out in theaters. Normally, Disney, when something like that's happening, they would release the original on DVD. They didn't, and a lot of people think it's because they were afraid people would watch the original and then go, I don't really want to go to the theater and watch Tron Legacy anymore.
And who could blame them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Again,
the weird thing is, they have stopped making the Tron DVD, and I still have my original, and last time I checked, it was going for like $100 on Amazon, a used one, so
I just find it funny, like, because, in Kingdom Hearts, they went to a Tron world, and it was before the Tron Legacy movie came out, so, like, I was wondering if... Yes, it was awesome because it's a video game!
Yes.
Meta.
It just makes me curious as to, like, if people play the Tron world in Kingdom Hearts, wouldn't they be curious and when they end up re-releasing Tron anyhow, or
I'm sure they will re-release it at some point, but they're gonna wait for the heat to die down a little bit.
That's what they did for a 25th anniversary or something.
They did something like that, yeah.
Is it Tron on Blu-ray though?
Yeah, it is.
It has to be.
That's how they do it on a combo pack here in the UK with Legacy.
Yeah, it is, but they waited until Tron Legacy was already out to release it. They waited until it was gone from theaters to put that out on Blu-ray because it was like, all right, now it's safe.
Yeah,
I hope they make Tron 3.
Oh, I do.
Yep.
I do very much because Legacy was a great movie.
Yeah.
Legacy was okay. I think
Legacy was okay.
Oh, you are overselling Legacy. That film was, it was all right. It looked good. The story was predictable as shit. They didn't really do that much with the concept. It was just a quest film, but in blue.
I really liked Legacy, both for what it was and for also just being good fun. Like, it was good. It managed to fix most of the problems of the original. I mean, the story is pretty much just a rehash of the original, and this is essentially just a movie that reintroduces the Tron world so that then if it becomes successful, they can make it into a big new franchise. But I mean, I guess I
was too busy falling in love with Olivia Wilde in that movie.
Wilde. In that movie there was an actual pacing in there. The dialogue didn't totally stink. It was frequently exciting. Like it had Martin.
You must have stepped out during the flamboyant bar owner scene.
No. I was gonna say it had Michael Sheen hamming the living shit out of that movie as a cross between David Bowie.
Ziggy Stardust, basically.
Yeah, it was exactly like Ziggy Stardust. It had an amazing soundtrack.
The whole reason I want Tron 3 is for more Daft Punk.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Why did they get snubbed? Why did they get snubbed when it was clearly the best soundtrack of 2010?
Yeah.
Because it was Tron. Don't get me wrong, when I put out the Snubbies, every single year when the Oscars come out, I put out my own little the Snubbies thing. Last year, I gave that to Tron Legacy guys, because that was badass.
The King's Speech one. The King's Speech had the most boring and forgettable soundtrack I've ever heard.
The reason
it fit the movie.
Boring and forgettable, like the movie.
Sick.
Ooh, And then and also I really liked the ending of Tron Legacy because it ended on a genuine downer note, which I actually thought was kind of ballsy for like a Disney movie. But it also
Did it though?
He gets to spend the rest of his life fucking Olivia Wilde. It's not that much of a downer.
He lost his dad, and then of course there's the whole there's nothing in the greater result. I thought
that's true. I mean, I've always said I will cry at any father-son moment outside of Super 8 because that was fucking awful.
True that.
But yeah, I will admit I started to tear up a little bit there at the end. But I mean, that's not saying shit because that will any father-son moment will hit me.
I thought they were a bit obvious, a bit easy with that. I'm just like, yep, sacrificing. Yep.
What's that way they'd have to bring Jeff Bridges back?
Yeah.
Digital jazz, man.
Just wondering, like, if you guys ever seen the Tron animated series?
I've started watching that. I'm kind of enjoying it.
I got about halfway through and then just was like, I'm gonna I'll watch it when it's all out. I am kind of enjoying it. The art style's not exactly. I'm still not completely in love with the art style.
Yeah, neither am I. That's kind of what threw me off, so that's why I stopped watching.
That is the uncanniest of uncanny valleys. What they have there. That is
like at times it reminds me of the Animatrix, which is good because I really like the animation of the Animatrix. But other times it's just creepy as fuck. But then of course, but the writing and the acting and the way that despite being shown on kids' channel, like with a kids probably that is essentially just a grown-up show for adults. Like it doesn't pander in the slightest, which I kind of like. But again, I think I'm just happy that there's more Tron, to be honest, because again, Tron is a fantastic concept that at some point somebody will explore in full great detail. Legacy started to go towards there, but because it was the reintroduction and stroke reboot film, it couldn't go all the way. I'm sure that if Legacy had made shit tons of money and Disney could put their faith in it to, do that, to just go all out in the third movie or whatever, then it could become a fantastic franchise. But again, I still really like Legacy.
Tron 2.0.
Tritoon.
Well, I know it hasn't come out in Britain yet, but have either of you other guys seen Wreck-It Ralph yet?
No. I was too busy seeing Skyfall.
Hell yeah.
Mike?
I'm seeing that in 2 hours.
So. All right. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say we could do a little spoiler sport, but it would just be me and Michelle talking about while you guys just sit back. And since Jackson's the one recording this tonight, that'd be kind of a dick move on my part.
And occasionally we just shout "fuck you" at random intervals.
Yeah, just like shout "fuck you" over us while we're talking about the movie, and hopefully no one will hear us over the "fuck yous."
That'd be wonderful to listen to.
That just sounds like one of our standard podcasts.
I was gonna say, how's that different than every other week? Just replace "God damn it" with "fuck you," and that's pretty much it.
Sometimes maybe yell "Treasure Planet" and then follow it up with everyone else going, "Oh."
And then Persona.
Also, stop at random point to slam the newsroom and praise the Avengers. We've got a formula down.
I was going to say, you just pulled back the curtain and revealed the great and powerful Oz there for a second.
I would just like to say, bringing it back on topic, if I may be so bold. When you were talking earlier about not bringing the video game into the video game movies, and I know it's not an adaptation, but holy fucking shit, Scott Pilgrim. That game has...
Yeah,
I mean, Scott Pilgrim is an adaptation of a comic book, but it brings the video game elements in there.
Yeah.
And it became a video game.
Really fucking good video game.
Oh yeah.
Oh, can we just sing those songs now? Because they're so good.
I'm gonna be using at least one of them as our music.
Another winter. That's the correct answer.
No, it's the theme tune, the main theme tune, the Scott Pilgrim anthem. So good.
I was going to say rock band song, but
So everyone listening right now, go buy the soundtrack to the Scott Pilgrim.
It's
Anamanaguchi people, look them up.
It's the best video game soundtrack this entire generation.
And speaking of the Scott Pilgrim video game, the Gravity Falls episode paying tribute to video games, which had the same animators from the Scott Pilgrim video game, come on there to create Rumble's McSkirmish.
Right, as soon as we are done here, I am watching the living shit out of that episode.
That is such a good episode. It does so many great video game tributes. Like, if you just want to see a great parody but also tribute of classic arcade video games, that thing does so much in there. I mean, there's a moment where it's like...
Showed me where the guy is like, okay, be still. Still, this is as still as I could possibly be whilst in his little resting animation.
Yeah, Rumbles McSkirmish has got the greatest voice, and he is a composite of every Street Fighter character out there. He's got Sagat's eye patch, Guile's hair, he's got Ryu's moves, Hadouken. It is so good.
It's like he also has like a tattoo on his back, which I found out was like the Chinese character for fart.
Can I marry this show? Can somebody make this show a person so I can marry it?
And then you're going to throw it into a volcano.
We normally end the show when we're somehow able to come full circle. So does anybody have anything else they want to add? Because I think Jackson just ended it.
The DOA movie is both brilliant and awful.
I would like to mention that I really want to see the goddamn Phoenix Wright.
Yes.
Which looks like done all the effects from Scott Pilgrim, but put them in a courtroom. I want that right now.
Please.
I do want that. That's another thing that I would love to see as like a TV series. Like ABC should snatch that shit up because it's family friendly, but also law, which they love. So
it's literally the premise is right there. It's money, literally right there.
I'm gonna throw out a very weird casting choice for that. For the part to play Nick, for the part to play Phoenix himself, I would actually go with that guy who was in Sex Drive. If anybody saw Sex Drive, the main character from that, I'm trying to.
Seth Green.
No, it wasn't.
I'm gonna get that up. I'm gonna get that up right now.
Josh Zuckerman.
Was it James Martin? No, not James Marsden. James Marsden was the older brother who kicked the shit out of him. Josh Zuckerman.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
I would go with him because that is the guy who can play very much down on his luck. He's about the right age now that Phoenix Wright is when the games start. And also, as shitty and god-awful and irredeemable as Dragon Ball Evolution is, it proves he can yell.
That movie's incredible.
It proves that he can yell very loud. So my pitch for Phoenix Wright, Josh Zuckerman.
Objection!
Oh, and to play Maya, I gotta go with the girl who played Knives in Scott Pilgrim.
Ellen Wong.
Ellen Wong.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, perfect casting. All right.
Aaron, why are you not working at some TV corporation greenlighting this shit now?
Who should play Miles Edgeworth?
Podcast.
Who should play the judge?
Who should play the judge?
Jeff Bridges.
David Augensteyers.
Brian Blessed.
Who played Captain Von Trapp?
Brian Blessed,
yes.
That's it. Over. Brian Blessed, we're done.
Brian Blessed, that's it.
Call it.
Oh, what was her name? And to play Mia. Oh God, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Can you name it?
Ming Na.
No, she's busy with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she is going to be in S.H.I.E.L.D. All right, never mind. Stick with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick with the show that's actually getting made.
Yes.
Not our completely made up Phoenix Wright film.
Kevin, you're ruining the magic.
Be like, hey, that's a good idea. I'm going to quit this show and do that.
Kevin, you are the AT&T of people right now.
This should be its own podcast, like a half-hour weekly podcast where just called Casting Call, where we just sit down, pick a different franchise, and figure out the movie. Because it'd be another thing we have to do.
I don't want to do stuff. It's too much work.
When we launch the website, there will be something on there.
When somebody starts paying us for this.
No one's going to ever pay us for this.
No.
You never know. We could get
3
big on
hours going off
Reddit.
topic.
Yeah, the money will go on, I don't know, fucking more DS games. I can't tell. There was meant to be a punchline at the end of there, but I had nothing.
The money will go
Stacey's
towards
loving the
Treasure Planet's
podcast. She's
20th
really
10th
enjoying it,
anniversary
and it's getting ratings on screen, so who knows?
The money will go towards the Treasure Planet 10th anniversary edition.
No, it's going to go towards the story pitch for Treasure Planet 2.
Now it's on full.
Alright, now we can end it.
No, yeah, we ticked off all the list here. Let's call it a night.
I'm gonna go see Skyfall now. Ha.
You go see
jealous.
Skyfall.
I'm gonna watch Gravity Falls.
You go see Gravity Falls. Oh fuck, that comes on tonight. We're going to see Gravity Falls.
Yay!
All of you see Gravity Falls. All right.
Everyone
Everybody
see Gravity
everywhere.
Falls.
Good night, everybody.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question.
Won't you come on down to Rapture? Jam a needle in your arm. It'll slowly corrode your genetical code, but it's all part of the charm. So you're a gross abomination, but in time you're gonna be. So glad you came on down to the best little town at the bottom of the deep blue sea. Hop in the bathysphere, take in the atmosphere. It's like New York, but with more fish. This unholy demon spawn looks like Joan Rivers in the morning, but down here, she's quite a dish. Aquatic nightmare drones are known to freely roam with little sisters who require their help. I mean to tell you plainly, mister, if that thing there was my sister, I believe I'd disown myself. So you stuck a while in Rapture, and politically it's tense. Libertarian scream, it's an Ayn Rand wet dream, and brother, I mean soaking, I'm not even joking, don't you know? The locals love the lifestyle, watch them scale the walls with glee. Then glad they came on down to the best little town at the bottom of the deep blue sea.